Well,
You should be holding that at all times. People force out on orange. They're forced out.
Wildcard 2 up.
Everybody just gun this side right now.
I'm telling
These are
wildcard.
kills. You should watch how many take out at the same time. So.
yeah,
People on
guy.
orange are forced into the open with nothing
Starts
to play.
running in the open on yellow. Wildcard.
Yeah.
We're gonna need to run down here?
Eventually, yeah. These guys are forced in the open south. They're running, literally, in the open. Driving.
Yeah.
One guy driving.
They're driving.
One up. That's not it. Healing. Those are free kills. We need to see if we get any of the points out. Wildcard one up.
We can't T8, so.
Get in there. Flush the shit.
See? And ATC on our right.
ATT white.
3 more points. 3 more points.
Same, by the way.
Yep.
We just play up top and wait.
ATC not one of those. That's important. That could be Wizard. No, Wizard's still alive.
I think Wizard might be the T8 guy.
Maybe. I'm running down like this. I think it's a good run.
Okay, wait, we gotta go together, maybe.
I just gotta go. I don't have time to wait the knocks.
Okay. Top floor Wizard, top floor Wizard.
Release two. Not T8, not T8.
Oh, shit.
Bottom floor. 2 on bottom floor. Wizard lit.
You say 2?
2. Nade it if you got it.
Watch it for me. Watch it for me.
One top floor.
I'm holding your top floor.
Top floor peeking.
Can't cover that. He shut the door,
I'm trying to cover it, but
Top floor, the open door.
Dive on bottom floor. They're baiting me. I gotta deal advantages. Okay. We gotta make a plan this quick. Most important thing.
I got knocked from far. They're split.
can't save.
No. He's
Getting
on
pressure
blue.
from this team. Pressure from the right team.
Blue. It's ATC. They're far up. T8, just knock them. On blue.
Okay.
Your last one.
Wildcard
Nade
could be
bottom floor
rocking.
again.
Or wildcard could be rocking to you. Molly bottom floor. Wildcard right.
Yeah, flash.
What?
Another.
Yep. If they both bleed, we win.
Yep.
Seriously?
Yep.
We get those kills.
Oh.
I'm watching. I see a knock on my screen, so.
They're like.
You got
One
one.
blood.
I see the one. I see the one, bro.
Get him.
Please.
He killed T8. He's going down to res.
He's
leaving.
He's leaving.
We might win.
Do we actually win?
I think so. Comms.
There's no-
Relax. I don't know
Are you
for
sure?
sure.
Are you sure?
Civ, you flush ATC guy, right?
100%.
He did,
I have
100%.
kills.
We win.
I have 2.
Pretty sure we
There's
win.
no
outside.
way.
Let's sure we win outside.
Oh my, finally.
There's no way, bro.
There's no way.
I don't know,
I
man.
don't believe it.
I don't believe
relax,
it.
Relax. Give me your kills. Give me your kills.
I have 5.
I have 2.
Okay. 5, 4, 2,
11.
13, 14. They had 2 points.
Let's go!
We did it. We did it.
Beat him on the time.
We
Pretty
did it.
sure.
We did it.
Oh,
Oh
bro.
my god! You guys are f***ing legends. Every single one of you.
Bro, there's no way, man.
Nice dude. Clutched up again.
Oh yeah, it's a team effort there, boys.
Gunner, you're unmuted, bud.
You're muted.
You have to unself it.
On
I
you.
can't. It's not over until it's over. I just need to see it, bro. I need to see it, man. I gotta see it.
Nice check in that corner, bro. Oh
I
my
just
God.
have to see it. You said to me that if we win, if they bleed out, I stood up and just started biting my nails. I'm not joking. I got out of my chair. I haven't bit my nails since I was 12 years old, and I'm a lot older than 12. Lose my shit. I will fly to each one of your houses and just kiss you on the forehead.
I'll kiss you back.
Each and every single one. If we did this, bro, holy shit, I will snap. That's what I was saying.
We did.
You won by
Wait,
2 points.
we did it!
We
did
did it!
We did it!
Boys,
Thank God.
I love you guys. I love each and every single one of you.
Oh my god.
I can't believe it. God damn it. Good boys. boys. Never f***ing give Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Holy let's go, boys. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Seriously, good job. You guys should be so proud of yourselves.
Holy man.
You should be so proud of
Yeah, we
yourselves.
finally are champions, boys. We're finally champions.
You should be so proud.
Second place curse has been broken. That's my tweet.
Like, way to keep your head in it and not give up.
Hi PUBG Sports fans, I'm your PUBG Sports guide, Annie, and I'm here with Paper Thin.
Hey guys, thanks for joining us for another episode of the PUBG Esports News Show.
So today we're going to talk about the upcoming PUBG Continental Series 2, the whole participating team list, and the watch points we have there.
Yeah, exactly. This is going to be really exciting. Not only are we covering the teams and players, but we have a new format this time around. It's going to be 6 days with 4 games per day for each region. So this is going to be a lot of fun and I think should be really good for the fans.
So we have a week more to enjoy PCS2. So check out the calendar and don't ever miss a single match. And also, Pick'em Challenge is also back, so don't forget to participate. First, let's start with Asia. Here, we can find 11 new teams compared to PCS1. It's going to be a whole new competition here. We do have 4 teams which participated in all PCS events, like 4 Angry Men, Infantry, Tiamba, and OGN&2s, but they will have to have a new strategy because they have to compete with whole new teams.
Yeah, exactly. While some of these teams are going to be familiar to PUBG Esports fans, a lot of them did not participate in PCS1. So things are really getting jumbled. And especially, I think a lot of the drop locations are going to be contested in the Asia event. So I'm really excited to see how that plays out.
I'm really interested in the landmark fight on School and Apartment Zone and Pochinki. How do you think about that?
Yeah, exactly. There's 2, I think probably the 2 most interesting battles that are going to be taking place on Erangel is going to be between 4 AM and Ghibli for the School and Apartments. Now, historically, Ghibli has taken control of that location from 4 AM, so we'll see if that continues. The other one is going to be SMG and OG and Entis over Pochinki. Now, Entis tries to fight over Pochinki. It doesn't really seem to go well for them. So in recent history, it seems like they've been more willing to move away from that location. Will that be the case this time around? Because China teams really seem dedicated to fighting over their landmarks.
I pretty much watched all of the PCS2 Asia qualifiers, and the last day of Asian qualifiers were insane. For example, in PJS, Detonation Gaming White and Sengoku Gaming was first and second before the last match, but both 2 teams struggled in the last match, and Sun Sister and Element 36 earned a lot of points and achieved that 2 last tickets.
And to mirror that, in Korea, we had 3 teams that tied for the same amount of points for the very final spot to qualify for PCS2 Asia. So it was an intense final game with Afrika Freaks and Genji and VSG all having the same amount of points, but Afrika Freaks won the last game and had more kills than the other 2 teams, so they were able to come out ahead.
Yeah, it was really shocking not to have Genji in PCS2.
The other team I would like to highlight from Korea is T1. Now they have picked up Starlord, the veteran from VSG, who has moved over to be the in-game leader for T1, and he led them to a victory in PCS2 Korea.
In China, Infantry, the former champion of PCS1, won PCL, and I'm really glad to see the constant performance here, so I'm expecting a lot in PCS2 also. And I want to highlight SMG. This team is consisted of players who have been playing in global events in 2019, so I think these players are really capable of playing in global events. Also, Met98 from this team represented the Team China in PNC 2019. One more interesting thing here is that 4 AM barely made it to the PCS2 by 1 point. It's always amazing to see that 4 AM eventually make it to the global events no matter how.
Yeah, they're really crazy. I really would like to also highlight the 2 teams that qualified from Chinese Taipei. This is going to be their first time in a big global event in a while for some of them. Gex Ace, of course, looking to try to match their sister team's success. And Team Sadies is a team full of very young, talented players who are finally old enough to get their shot at playing in one of these global events.
So next is North America. We can see a lot of familiar teams here, but we have to talk about Shoot to Kill. They dominated group stage. They won most kills, most assists, most winner chicken dinner, and community voted MVP Purdy Curry. They've won group stage by 63 points. This is really a huge point gap, but would there be teams to challenge Shoot to Kill by any chance?
Yeah, definitely. I think there are a lot of teams who can challenge Shoot to Kill here. I'm going to focus on 3. The first being Oath, a young team, a team full of really, really mechanically gifted players, of course, winning the PCS Charity Showdown. So these guys always going to be in it, I think. So the second team I'm looking at is Radiance, a team full of veterans who've been playing for quite some time. 3 of their players actually participating in PGC 2019. Los, Waldo, these guys are really good. McCoy, I mean, what an incredible team to have. And then finally, I'm gonna look at Sonics. They do support the superior pizza, being pineapple on pizza, so you gotta give them some love.
Yeah, I love pineapple pizza too. But I want to talk about Tiggleton. He's back with Sonics. How do you think about this team synergy?
I think it's going to be interesting to see how they gel. I mean, Tiggleton's been kind of bouncing in and out of teams for a while. Of course, we know he's an insane player on his own. He's capable of popping off at any time. The real question is how fast are they going to be able to get their teamwork going? If they can get it going, they absolutely have a shot.
Lastly, I want to talk about Team Veritas, the former Wildcard Gaming, which was the biggest rival to Shoot to Kill in PCS1. All 4 members moved to Team Veritas, so I really want to see the rivalry again in PCS2, and I'm expecting a lot from them too. So next is APAC. I see a lot of familiar teams here, and I see some new teams, but among these teams, I really want to highlight 2 teams, Division X Gaming and Archangel Predators. Division X Gaming, they were the champion, and Archangel Predator, they led this event in the first week, but we couldn't meet them in PCS1, but now they came back, and I'm really expecting a lot from these teams.
Yeah, for me, I'm really going to highlight MSC Theraton, the 2-time champions of the PTS, the Thailand series. So I really think there's a lot of potential here, as Thailand has really shown to be a strong country in this region. The other team I'd say is more of a dark horse, but I think has a decent shot at potentially winning this, as Battle Arena Elites. There's a lot of really strong players who kind of bounced around from teams like Flood, who used to be on Atletico. You've got Loki's, who's been on BAE for a while, Neferhor from Australia, and then Sophia from Malaysia as well. So this is a really, really good team.
What about the Oceanian teams? Like, they now have only 2 seeds, but I think Astra and Fury are the best 2 teams in Oceania.
Yeah, definitely. I'm going with Fury. They just are so consistent. They're the best team in Oceania for sure. So for this team, they definitely have a real shot, and I'm definitely considering them for my pick to win APAC.
So here we have a lot of teams who made it to all PCS events, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's been quite a few teams that have made it to all 3 PCS events so far. Coming from Vietnam, both Cerberus and Divine have qualified for all 3, and from Thailand, Buriram and Daytrade Gaming have both made it as well. So this might be their chance to really shine.
And last, we have 2 Indonesian teams again from the future, from PCS Charity Showdown is back, and Victim Rise is always consistent in their league, so I'm expecting a lot from them too. Last but not least is Europe. Europe, we can see a lot of familiar teams, but there are a lot of strong teams here, so any teams can win here. We really have to talk about the last day of the group stage. Navi, they won 4 chicken dinner in a row, earning 96 points. This is a record. And FaZe Clan, they showed the FaZe Sunday, earning like 87 points. They were a huge points there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, these are some of the mainstay teams, the teams that we've come to know and love in Europe, really stepping up on the final day, making one of the most exciting days in PUBG Esports history. So many exciting days across so many regions, but you really love to see it. FaZe looks like they're finally starting to come together. Navi adding Orange seems to be a good addition, replacing Kemba, but Senya continues to lead whatever team he's on to good results.
I also want to talk about Clib moving into Team Liquid from Tempest. How is it going?
Seems to be going really well. It seems like whatever player you fit into the Team Liquid machine does really quite well. So I'm excited to see this with the results, having him on the team for the first time, being this good. Maybe this is finally the roster that can take them to the heights where they can win a championship. So I'm really excited about that. Another player that I'm interested to see how he does is Kemba, moving off of Navi over to win streak. They looked pretty darn good, to be honest, for their first time together as well. So they're definitely a team you got to keep in mind. I mean, there's so many good teams in Europe.
I know, Northern Lights, they've been performing so well constantly throughout all PCS events, and TSM, they've kind of struggled in PCS2 group stage, but they were the champion of PCS1 Europe. So I can't wait to find out which team will be the champion of PCS2 Europe out of these marvelous teams. And again, we have PCS2 Pick'em Challenge on track. I really love the PCS2 items. How do you think about it?
Oh, they're great. I mean, once again, just awesome items to choose from.
Yeah, so to get the reward items, you need EPs and building coupons, and we'll tell you how to get them. So for EPs, you can participate in Pick'em Challenge, and the main event is, as always, predict the winners. So you can easily predict the winners of each region and get 100,000 EPs.
Once again, the Pick'em Challenge, it's going to be free to choose the rivalries. And this time around, though, the way you get points is going to be a little bit different. It is a weighted voting system, meaning if you pick a team and you're one of the low percentage people and your team does better, then you're going to get way more points than if you say pick a team that has a lot of votes for it and they win. So it's kind of an interesting gamble you got to take.
Yeah, you have to think a lot before you pick. You can also get additional EPs and voting coupons by simply watching PCS2 live streaming on Twitch. You can get it by Twitch drops. And also there will be the quizzes during matches, and if you get right, you can also get EPs.
Right, and also the same thing's gonna happen like in PCS1. There's gonna be codes that come up on the screen. There's only a limited number of people who can get them, so you gotta be ready to enter them into your PUBG client as soon as possible. And console players, don't worry, we got you guys. Details of how you can participate are coming up soon too.
So don't forget to participate in Pick'em Challenge and get exclusive PCS2 items. And here's our pick. PUBG Continental Series 2 will kick off on August 27th with PCS2 Asia, so mark your calendar and stay tuned. I'm really excited to see who's going to be the champions.
Yeah, I really can't wait. And thank you guys so much for your continued support. PCS events have been awesome so far this year, and we couldn't do it without you.
So don't forget to subscribe and like for more PCS2 news.
In the middle of the field, running open. On this
Nice
A
behind
bale.
you. Just smokes.
Yeah.
Kind of hay bale.
Fucking hell.
He's smoking out the shack now.
He's gonna run out. I'm hard scoping him as well.
Yes,
Let's just
jump out.
send
Run
him
out
out.
left. He's taking damage.
Knock that, almost knocked that guy on the bale. He's on green. Hit twice with
Not
us.
in anymore.
Where are
Yeah.
these close guys?
They're just on the net, like, going people.
We can take this slow. We don't have to like insta push it. Let's kill the south guy first.
He's right, middle smoke. Right smoke.
Maybe he tries to make that run with the gap. Oh, smoke it up.
Like
Phase
3.
Okay,
One of NLT knocked.
One of the road guys is 1 HP.
Where is he? Smoke?
Knock, knock, knock.
Nice.
that was Shack guy, right?
Yeah, knock, knock.
Road. Knock.
Dead, don't feel dead.
Should be on the cars.
Nice. Nice. No.
1 HP on the road. 1 HP on the road.
I knocked a different team.
1 HP on the road if you didn't flush him.
Okay.
Knock
I
him.
didn't.
Nice.
I'm second
get the
bleed, I'm
rest.
dead. I'm dead.
I'm no
against
smoke,
one.
I'm no smoke.
Have to resin stir if you want res.
Resin.
It's only
Yes,
one up.
on me.
Just res. 4v1. I'm gonna run up right.
Right now. Go under the road. Go under the road insta. Yeah. Nice. Fuck
Come
you,
left, come
Adam.
left, come left.
Someone can do it as well.
Yeah, I'm coming with you. I'll
Crash
do
in
it.
this smoke.
I'm looking for you two. None.
A road by me.
Coming, pushing him straight.
I'm flashing him.
Behind the car probably.
The car.
There he is, he is.
One flash.
Nice.
Nice. Bad.
Amazing.
You guys are
Insane. Two.
one bomb.
Up
Two
9.
bomb. You had 9?
Yeah.
You're f***ing cheating, bro.
Go, boys.
Let's go, lad.
Let's
Six.
go.
Finally won something. Let's go.
Congrats.
We're just cracked and nuts. And better.
So
Can we finally win something? DreamHack? 3-1 DreamHack. Yeah. That was like a small
That was small though.
Yeah. This team hunts for the big thing, bro. Let's go. Yo. 2 and 2. Oh. Okay.
Oh, I'm so happy.
I'm going then. Congrats, guys. I'll be right back.
Big one kill.
And welcome back, everybody, to the PUBG Continental Series 2 Asia. We are on day number 2. It's paper thin and bench once again as we move forward with the event. Day number 1 was absolutely insane. If you missed it, go back and watch the VODs. I'd say basically the 4 best teams in this lobby all won a game, as we kind of would expect, although it doesn't seem to happen very much in competitive PUBG. We saw the best teams really step up from both China and Korea yesterday.
So 2 teams from Korea took 2 games, and 2 teams from China took 2 games as well. So things were very evened out, as you can see on the leaderboard. T1 and Entis took 2 wins. Infantry and Tiamba as well were representing China for themselves.
It was a really, really fun back and forth day. And what was really interesting was on Erangel, we got to see 2 circles that were very similar to each other, and normally I don't like to say that that's interesting, but in this case it is, because it was fun to see how the teams adjusted to the changes. T1 early on coming out banging, on Miramar, absolutely wrecking people. Star-Lord and Adder were on fire. Here you can see Star-Lord coming up and over, wrecking Tianba's day in that very first game. And then later on, he would do the same to SMG with a very nice solid rotation behind their backside. So really, really good stuff from him. Adder was playing very well. And here you can see the damage top 5 from day one. Helen as well. He didn't get a lot of kills, but he was putting up a ton of numbers, doing a lot of work with his sniper rifle.
But speaking of damage numbers, Longsker is playing out of his mind once again. 2,600. That's enough to kill 26 players, which is 1/3 of the lobby pretty much.
Yeah, basically, he is averaging something like 640, 650 damage a game. That's actually insane. I mean, that's 640, 650 damage a game is like, when you have that, that's a really good game for you. He's doing that every game. It's actually insane. This guy is cracked beyond belief right now.
So speaking of kills, as you have just saw, Lorena's sitting at average 4 kills per game. So typically, if you have average of 1.5 or above, you're considered good. If you have anywhere above 1.7, you're insane. Lorena is playing out of his mind, sitting at 4, even though it's only 4 games a day. That's still a high average.
Yeah, we're seeing the reemergence of Tianba, a resurgence as well, with them coming through, just playing more aggressive at times. You know, their fragging is much better. Their nades are on point. We saw that yesterday with those 2 big frags on the second game in Miramar to wipe OG and Entis off the map, who then, you know, rallied well, did OG and Entis. They came back, won game number 3. So things were very back and forth. Entis, we got to give them a lot of credit. Under was able to outduel Longsker to win a 1v1 in game number 3. And then, of course, Infantry, you couldn't hold them back long enough. And they were always there. All 4 of these teams were just kind of always there at the end.
So that will be Korea and China. But I guess we should give Chinese Taipei a little shout out to Japan as well. Element 36, Sun Sister, they're both very aggressive, but I don't know, like, mechanically they lack a little bit, it feels like.
Yeah, it wasn't the best day. Element 36 started out pretty well, but then as time went on, it kind of fell apart for them a bit. Sun Sister had a solid day for them, I would say. It was better than their usual start. So, and the thing about Sun Sister, I will say, is they were confident. They challenged VLG, a Korean team, every time at the power plant on Miramar. Every time. They did not give up, and they actually kind of won the battle. They killed one of them, forced VLG off into San Martin, and then VLG got destroyed there a bit. So it was a tough day for them, for VLG, because let's start on Miramar, where they drop against Sun Sister, and they didn't do well. Then they went over to Erangel and dropped against 4AM, and they straight up lost.
But this is our overview for the total PCS2, where this is the final day of first week for Asia, and then later tonight we're going to have North America given to you. And then we are going to give you APAC and EU the day after tomorrow right away.
Yeah, guys, it's really exciting. If you missed NA, go back and watch that. It was a really explosive, fun start. A couple big names coming up through there. Fabled, Sonic's doing really well. Oath having some good games too. A lot of really fun games. If you didn't get a chance, make sure you definitely check those out. Here's an overview. Our prize pool, $200,000 for each region, plus 12.5% of the in-game sales. So all those cool skins and other items you can get distributed equally amongst all of the participants, all of the teams and players. So that's really nice. You know, it really is nice to have a reward just for getting here, because there are so many teams, and it's so hard to qualify for these events.
And tonight, we're going to give you 2 Miramars to start things off tonight, and then we're going to be moving over to Erangel. The week after this, we're going to have 2 Erangels to start the night, and then 2 Miramars. And then we're going to switch things once again back to Miramar on week number 3.
Yeah, I like this format. It's a lot of fun. Just kind of change it back and forth. Nothing too crazy. I like ending on Miramar personally, but I like Miramar a little better. I mean, Erangel's wonderful now. And so it's quite fun with the changes they've been making. We aren't on the very new Erangel, guys. We're still a patch behind on that. But the new one is pretty cool with all the boats and the docks and stuff out on the water. It makes things a little more interesting to play around the coast and that kind of thing. Point system, you know and love. We've been using it for quite some time now. No changes there, as everything looks pretty much normal for us here, Bench.
Speaking of new map additions, yeah, the 3 houses by the southern edge of the main island for Erangel. Those loots over there are so insane. I played a couple pickup games last night, went over there, and then I don't even know, like, I was farming for like 2 minutes, came out with like 2 barrels and 2 barrels, because I couldn't find any DMRs.
Well, there you go. Oh, that's fine, yeah. No, it's nice to have that loot on the coast now. It makes things, and there's like a little more like accessibility to using and playing from the beaches, because a lot of times, you know, if you're stuck on a beach, you're basically dead to rights in one way or another unless something crazy happens. So it is nice to have some flexibility in those situations. But we're not starting on Erangel today. We're starting on Miramar. T1 looked really good on Miramar, which is, I think, scary for a lot of these other teams because T1 was not good on Miramar, averaging, I think, just 4.4 points per round on Miramar during the Korean qualifiers, which isn't that great.
Right.
They were way better on Erangel.
So T1 was traditionally known to be better on Erangel, and their Miramar is just like, if they get a couple kill points and maybe like place top 6, top 5, it'll be great. Couple kill points, still good, but now they're winning on Miramar, which in case of like teams like Infantry or SMG or traditionally known to be strong in close quarter combats, which obviously is favored in Miramar, is not going to like that.
Absolutely not. It is really scary for all the other teams in this lobby, and I think for T1, a big part of this, of course, we've talked about him a lot, is Starlord. One thing that I think is really interesting about Starlord is his like danger awareness, his ability to kind of recognize when situations are good or bad is so high, and he's able to put his team in really good positions. And having Helen, I'm going to give Helen a lot of credit here. Helen is the former play caller for T1, the former in-game leader. Now he's more into a support kind of secondary play caller type role, and he's really stepped up quite nicely into this role. In that we see him out on the flanks, we see him on the back with the sniper rifle, calling things that he sees, calling ideas, and then T1 is able to make good decisions off of it. I went back and watched game number 2 from last night. T1 didn't win, but they got like 3rd place, and a big part of that was because the circle shifted away from T1 to the south and then to the east, and they were stuck on the northwest.
Right.
And Starlord is over on the very northwest side, and then you got Helen on the other side of that. And Helen's actually the one who directs traffic to get them into the next circle and get them that really nice positioning. So a lot of credit's got to go around the decision-making much better with T1, and that's a big part of all of this.
And that just shows in the results. T1 has been so consistent. I think there was not a single match they were outside of top 4, so they landed top 4 every single time. But guys, we are going to be kicking things off tonight. Match number 1, back in the lands of Miramar, Sandy Dunes, and the crate loots.
Ooh. Yeah, there's all kinds of crates all over here, and I'm excited for this, especially around Los Leones. A lot of fun stuff on the southwest side of Los Leones. There's always seems to be a crazy circle or two when Benj and I are around, and I drink plenty of coffee. So I am hoping, I just said that like somebody who's on like the east coast of America. I'm like, oh, coffee. The coffee. Yeah, no, I'm from the mid part of America. I shouldn't talk like that. No, this is going to be, this should be a lot of fun. I'm really, really excited for today, considering how good the games were yesterday. Plane path, very brutal to start out with. So I wasn't wrong. I drank quite a bit of coffee, and that tends to make things a little bit wild for us here. But the game's just like yesterday, Bench, nonstop action, like front to back.
It's because I feel like it's mostly because the meta change from being an edge team to a lot of teams shifting over to just crashing in the center, which kind of directly translates to being more aggressive. And Korea's picked up to become more aggressive, and that kind of shows why they're going toe-to-toe. Like VLG just continuously hot drop 4 a.m. every single time on Erangel. But this time around, is VLG going to hot drop once again on towards power grid? Because the plane path is a little crooked. Not too insanely crooked, but it's still crooked. So VLG might be content to go somewhere else, but we'll see where they will end up going.
At least it's a north to west for how crooked it is, because that makes it a little easier to transition. Oh, Linshun's already got an M16, firing some bullets. Nothing really landing on those shots, though, so he's just going to punch his way around and look for some more loot for himself. And you can see Tianba is going Puerto Paraiso this time, and there is, yes, indeed, a pretty brutal southwest circle. I don't think this one doesn't look like it's going to make its way to that island down at the Chicken Wing by Los Higos, but maybe Bench, we got it one time. We did get it one time in those Korean qualifiers for PCS1. It was Seoulhae 1 Prince against Farm PC, and it was quite
disastrous.
Quite a finish.
Well, you guys can always go back to the PUBG Korea _EN channel to check out how it ended. I'm just gonna say it was quite insane and fun because a lot of throws happened.
Yeah, there was some
not gonna say who threw, but
they might be in the lobby, but but they're playing much better now. Is
right.
Seoulhae 1 Prince? They didn't play well yesterday, but in Korea they're playing much better. Only 1 point on Miramar for Seoulhae 1 Prince yesterday, and that's not what I expected out of them. I thought they would maybe fare pretty well in this lobby because they are aggressive and they like to take fights, and I think they can go toe-to-toe with any of the teams. In China, we've seen them fare very well in Korea.
Right.
But yesterday, it just looked like the Seoul Hae-won Prince we used to know, where they just weren't rotating well, and there were some other problems.
Off to a slow start, maybe. Seoul Hae-won Prince has the capability to pick it back up, but this very southern circle, had Griffin advanced to PCS2 Asia, this might have been their favorite.
Oh, yeah.
They usually, I would say 80% of the time would go via Miramar if the plane allows. Otherwise, they will probably drop by Alcantara. In the Europe, it's probably Navi's circle. Navi's always loving these.
These southern circles, they play really, really well, for sure. So this one should be, I think this is like Tianba favored. Tianba and TSG are two teams that, when it comes to southern circles, play this very, very well. And TSG, this is where they get their wins. Both of their wins, again, in the PCL qualifiers for China, were on Miramar. So this is TSG's time to shine. They need to pick up some points if they're going to make a run at this thing, and really, Miramar seems to be where they get that done.
Oh, they're still in the shooting range. They're only, 29 points behind, and it's only been day 1, so they still have about 5 more days to go, and anything could be turned around. Not too much of a point difference. Looking over towards Infantry. They've had a huge day yesterday. There was
yes,
I would say, Longsker almost clutching that for a second win for themselves, but it turns out Under was just a little bit better. Plus, for Infantry, Longsker had a beat-up gear. I think it was only a level 2 helmet and basically a ripped-down vest. And then Under had a fresh level 3, so that probably was the considerable factor why Under won that duel.
Yeah, it was the biggest reason. They both kind of hit each other at about the same time. Longsker's initial spray was a bit off. It looked like he did have to kind of readjust. In the middle of it, you could see him lean to the other side in the middle of that moment, but he was just a little bit short. And Under is, of course, we talk about this a lot. I will say that Under is, in my opinion, one of the top 5 like phase 8, phase 9 players in the world. Like, he is a guy. If you're gonna ask me to like pick a player to have as my last player in a final circle, he'd be like one of the top 5 players in the world I'm thinking of right away because he's so good in those situations.
Oh, yeah. He can indeed clutch those games for sure. We've just seen the Viewpoint revamp T1 in Miramar. We've just talked about that a couple minutes ago. So, yeah, if T1 can continue their success, then it'll be a really good shot for them to win PCS2 Asia, show that Star-Lord is very capable of bringing a team up front just right after being added to the roster.
I mean, it would be really exciting for sure, and I think there's a lot of T1 fans across the world who would love to see them step up. But one thing I just took a look at the map because it kind of I had some curiosity. Sun Sister did not challenge VLG with Power Grid this time around, so I think that might have been more because of the plane path than anything. It was just so extreme, so they went way north. More by like the Oasis kind of stuff, and now they're going to be on a very late rotation on this one, unfortunately for them, due to the circle heading way to the bottom. Everybody else kind of making their way, but this go around, no like early fighting here, Bench. It's just been very quiet compared to yesterday.
Oh yeah, for sure. Seoul Hae-won Prince, their Miramar yesterday was very, very quiet for them. Their Erangel was a little better as Raining and Juanita Maxora putting some effort outside of the hills by Pachinki and the 4 houses. So hopefully this time around they can pick it back up. It's still the first week, so although they only have 9 points, it's only been 4 games, and it's the 5th game right now, so let's see what they're capable of. Speaking of teams, Japan, I've just mentioned before that I really like their aggressiveness. Them being aggressive, they're not turned down by the fact that they lose the battles. They continue to be very confident in challenging other teams, but they just fall off a little bit. Just I would say by like a paper thin little difference of a mechanical difference.
I get what you did there. Yeah, you're not wrong. It is so hard when you're running into these buzzsaws that are teams like Infantry, T1, Entis, Tianba that have just insane mechanically skilled players. The thing that I would say, for the Japanese and the Chinese Taipei teams is to keep making good decisions. That's, if you put yourselves in good positions, sometimes your shots fail you. But if you keep putting yourselves in good positions, eventually you're going to start finding success. Sun Sister should be fine, I think. That's pretty far out for Raining with that SKS. He popped a few. But now I think he's just going to watch and see what they do. See if one of them maybe flips their vehicle and he can, maybe get a lucky shot or two in, and that doesn't look like it's going to happen. E36 stopped up, but Sadie's putting some decent damage into Satao. Satao's going to have to get behind the wheel of his Miramar, literally, not figuratively this time around, and wait for Sadie's to pass.
KJ from Sadie's was the one to teleport into the room. I guess that was a spectator bug, so...
It was a bug, yeah.
Well, obviously, in the live match, nobody really teleports.
No, you never. No.
You shouldn't.
No.
But speaking of infantry, I would say their major advantage right now is them shifting their weights is very efficient. So, for example, if they have to push something, all four will move together. If they have to back up a player, then they will do a really good setup for backing their teammate up. And that comes into huge advantage because if somebody gets knocked, they can revive that member so easily. Like, for example, 9 got knocked out early on, but infantry moved in so fast that they couldn't flush him down.
Their responses are really, really good. You make a really good point that they can shift their weight very well. That's a really good way to put it. They are so responsive. Longsker, one of the most aggressive players with his vehicles. I think really pay attention to this today if you're watching from home. Watch Longsker's ability to kind of micromanage his vehicle. He moves it around so well in little positions, keeps it relatively healthy, isn't losing tires as much as a lot of other teams and players early on. Second circle, no island finish, so we don't get the extreme, but still a 50-50 as this one kind of stays out in the desert or moves out into the more grassy kind of rolling hills to the south. We'll find out. Solhei One Prince still chasing the tails of Sun Sister and still nothing really doing for them.
Raining is going to be up front with a motorcycle to scout out the route for his own team. TSG on the rotation. T1 has heard the vehicle's moving. Rex has already put out his AR, but it looks like there's no angle to shoot it at just yet. So he should be able to join up with their teammates. Rex putting some good shots into the vehicle, although that didn't connect to a headshot just yet. And now the terrain covers them up completely. Peng has been holding on to this ever since the cement compound, we call it. And just about 9 minutes into the game, 40 seconds until phase 2 starts moving. We expect it for island finish, but I guess we don't have that anymore. We do see the code in the screen, so type that in your client. You'll have your chance to redeem that code.
Go.
Fast, quick.
Get into your PUBG and enter that code. Get some of those points. Spend them on some sweet skins. Yeah.
Yeah, boy.
All right. I don't know.
Why'd you do that?
I don't know what's going on with me today. I'm in a good mood today, even though I lost my burrito to an unfortunate accident on the way in. But that's okay. I'll survive. Element 36 has spanned out. This is southeast of Chumacera, as you can see the southern high ground of Chumacera there. And Satao is going to get with his teammate. Good use of the vehicle, keeping it silent to pick up his teammate, not alerting anyone of their presence just in case. And there's kind of a little leapfrog game going on here between Element 36 and Sadie's. Both of them in fairly equal positions now, though. I mean, Sadie's does have a high ground, so they're going to be able to see a little bit more going forward and kind of maybe make a better rotational decision potentially. But in terms of speed, they have they're both about equidistance to the center of the current circle.
But for Sadie's, you've mentioned this before, but they are slow starters. As you can see, they only have 11 points, and most of them are actually kill points, so they're mechanically ready. It's just that they need more time to adapt to how these other teams play. Maybe they're able to crack into the vulnerabilities of strong teams like Infantry, maybe Entis, maybe be able to catch off Entis on rotation. You've seen Entis getting caught off every single time. Well, not every single time, but good 80% of the time back in the Korean qualifiers. They fixed that.
Yeah.
They fixed that good well, but obviously a mistake that's fixed is still vulnerable in a sense.
Well, Sadie's is going to give it a go. Sending out KJ in front. Forever gets a bit of damage in there, but KJ goes underneath.
My God.
Almost gets him on the ramp up. Does Forever. Of course, Forever is known as one of the top mechanically skilled players in China. and showing us why there. Almost takes KJ off the bike, and that's going to back him all the way back in to Chumasera. So nothing really gotten out of that for Sadie's other than the knowledge that Forever's in that house, and he's good, and, well, we all know that.
KJ riding that motorcycle to Highway to Hell, almost getting off of that, but he was able to get into it without problem. Excess is going to suffer from a headshot from distances away, probably good 400 meters away. I think that was 9 or Boliang to put the bullets down there. But right next to Infantry, as you can see, is going to be champions of competition, so they have to face off that aggression first of all, as COC has to get into the circle and Infantry's right at the edge. This might be the time for these two teams to start farming up points.
Well, this is going to be really interesting. A fight's breaking out right now between Champion of Competition and Infantry. This could be a big deciding factor for some of these teams in this match.
God.
2 down, 1 finished. Longsker out quick. First player out of this match. Your top damage dealer and fragger from yesterday already in the lobby, sitting at home. And here comes the push from Champion of Competition, and they can't even duel it. Lulu always gets the best of Boliang. That's going to be a twofer for them. So this is going to be up to Zhaoyang to get on out and try to scrape up whatever points he can for Infantry.
Boliang failed to land his spray down on the entrance member of Lulu always. But I have to credit the nades once again. Yesterday, we've seen some really, really amazing nades from Lin Shen and Lorena destroying Entis by themselves. And then tonight, it's going to be Infantry losing Longsker and by Nan throwing 2 nades to him.
Well, the throwables are on point for these Chinese teams. They have really, really gotten accurate with them, and it's really exciting to see. I think the changes to the grenades, I think everybody could agree, were good and necessary. Oh, hold the phone. La Vega sending it into Tianba. Lorena's out here on an island and isn't going to be able to do much. That's 2 down for Tianba, and nice push from La Vega. They're going to lose Sparrow, but overall, so far, they're able to establish their position. The rest of Tianba is very split, so that was an odd 2-2 here. Quite a few teams in between, Tianba. There is Entis and the last member of Infantry, and potentially 4 a.m. if you go a little more north. So it looks like Tianba got cut off a little bit in their rotation. La Vega takes advantage of that odd man situation, gets a few points. Star-Lord going to go down to Peng as they were trying to push in more center, but they're getting caught along the way from long range just to their north. So it's a rough start for some of our top teams here.
I think Lorena almost had a chance to shoot down the second player. I think he didn't have an extended mag. He was out of bullets pretty much, and basically La Vega made him pay. Lulu always putting some bullets into Adder, so Adder gets knocked out, the top damage dealer for T1 right now. That nade might just do dirty. There we go. That's going to be Adder down and dusted. So T1's going to lose 2 members early on as well. 4 a.m. now engaging onto Entis. Indigo's going to take a bunch of damage from Lu. And Pignan himself as well, taking down half HP, is going to be proning down to take the heal back up. Indigo is going to take that nade to the face. That's going to be unfortunate.
Yeah, big moment here for Entis. If they can defend this and keep all 4 up, they're going to be in a really nice position going forward. There's some strong defensible positions inside of here. That's going to be a knock. It's actually SMG getting involved. Baule taking down Pignan. And this is the problem for 4 a.m. They want to push forward. They want to get as far into Entis's grill as they can, because the backside of this warehouse, as you can see from Baule's perspective, very exposed. So it's tough when you're in that warehouse to, you want to get as far in as you can. And now, especially with the circle shifting away, there's going to be a lot of teams that are going to be forced into your backside. At 4 a.m., we'll see if they can manage this. They've got Sungjiang knocked, and are they going to push? Indigo backing off, got a molly in hand, hasn't opted to throw it just yet. We'll see what Indigo can do here. The top fragger for Entis during the PCS2 qualifiers in Korea.
4 a.m. and Entis has to either just crash hard between these two, or just one team has to back out, because right now the circle has zoned right on top of them, and any team could possibly crash it. And you know the good old stories where 2 cats fight and some dog comes by and takes your food. That might be the case, but this time around, looks like nobody's really willing to crash. And 4 a.m. is looking to back out from this situation. As you can see, Waste has already picked up a vehicle to get out from this one. La Vega, as you can see, they're going to be rotating down south towards the bridge. Forever putting some bullets into Lan Ren. Still moving under gunfire, is going to be stopping by. As you can see, our observations are going to be drawing some stuff over there. Good spray down for Forever, is going to knock out Lan Ren, but he himself is going to get knocked out by Sungjiang. Some revenge bullets right onto him.
Yeah, there's 2 Chinese teams crashing into each other. Good spray from Waste. That's going to knock Baolei down, and he is almost out. Small, very hurt. Mad 98, the only one with full HP. 4 still moving under gunfire, cracking that first aid for himself. Grenades up and over, finishes off Baolei. Good work from Waste. Saw some epic performances from him. 4AM does lose forever, though, right now, so a bit of a tough situation. The reason the observers were drawing those lines there is because underneath this compound, there's a really playable defensible position. If the circle moves up that direction, you really have a lot of room to maneuver and a lot of safety to maneuver on the south side of where Entus is right now, if you can cross that street like where La Vega is. So, you know, a solid position to work from, and I've seen it many times where teams use it to great effect. 4AM and SMG may be thinking about getting down there, but right now they're too busy with each other. And to make matters worse, there's 2 other teams rolling up into this, E36 and Gex Ace, nipping at their heels.
E36 still 4 strong in this game. Lulu always knocks out Honida, so Seoheon Prince is going to suffer from a knock. In the meantime, still moving under gunfire. SMG is not really willing to push onto E36. That nade is going to chunk him down for a while. Indigo is shooting from miles away. Not a lot of good real estate in this current circle, so most of these teams have to suffer from certain losses. That's going to be Shandian. What the bolt looks like. Knocking out Crazy Sam. Pure Boy gets knocked out by 911 as well. So that's going to be E36 putting out some smokes. Good way of defense, but now GXA is going to be coming on the backside of E36. Those nades are going to be chunking. Pure Boy so low that Molly is going to be toasting these players down to 0 HP.
Yeah, this is a really rough position for Element 36. They don't have a lot to work with here. It is just, you know, a hay bale and some other things that they have. And we seem to have lost our screen here for a second. And we apologize on that. We're having a bit of a technical issue there. Sorry, guys. We'll try and get that back to you here as soon as we can.
We cast the map
We'll
stream.
cast the map stream.
Right.
Yeah, that's all. That's our best option right now.
The circle.
I see the circle shifted to the northeast. So T1's still in it. So T1 might be kind of kicking themselves a bit for maybe trying to over-rotate into this. TSG still holds a compound on the north. And then I see a Freak of Freaks trying to rotate in.
So currently the ones who have the best real estate is going to tell him. There we go. We got the feedback, guys. And that's going to be Buyohu putting some bullets into Afrika. Afrika not having a good day yesterday. This one might be a little better. Z9 gets knocked out by Yukal. Lynch is going to put some bullets into Yukal by running away. Tiamba with Z9 Max down. Is the rest possible? E36 gets knocked out by Small. So that's going to be Sophia as the final member. Hansia is going to put some bullets into Buyohu as well.
Oh, Tianba's in a world of trouble because it's only Lin Shun left. If I'm him, I'm just getting on that motorcycle and trying something desperate. Sadie's is bearing down on top of him. Now, Lin Shun, we know, is crazy. He could absolutely win a 1v3 in a situation like this. We'll see if he's got it inside of him. And right now, Team Sadie's busy taking pot shots at COC up on the hill. And nothing really connecting for Zach. This young team from Chinese Taipei is Team Sadie's. Finally, all of their members old enough to compete in these Tier 1 events. So they are getting their first shot. Trying to make the most of it. Lin Shun taking some damage, returning a little bit as well. Good spray around the corner by Yuri. Good pre-fire there is going to finish off Lin Shun, and Tianba out in 15th.
Now Sadie says to start moving because the blue is moving right behind her back. Says chose to come down from the compound and take the hillside. And Songjiang going for more pot shots, but not going to be landing any of those just yet. 911 putting his SLR to work. That's going to be Lulu always finishing off raiding that. Molly's going to toast Lambu. Does he have enough time to cook it? Yes, he does. That was very, very close. Callie now putting nades right into it. That's going to be going right in there, but now Under is going to come from the backside, knock him out. Callie down, dusted. La Vega loses yet another member.
Yeah, now Entus is forced to move out of their compound. They waited for some of these teams to get inside of their lines of fire and are just tearing into their flanks. Here comes some grenades into Spear. Spear is avoiding them for now, but Entus is up here still. Sungjiang put some shots down La Vega Zenith, sending him packing a bit. And you can see Sadie's went right into VLG, gonna finish them off. So Sadie's with a really nice push, getting 3 kills so far, still 3 ups for them. But they have COC up on top of this hill. Smoke's coming down as they're gonna need to climb up that mountain.
Now SMG's going to pull up right on top of 4AM. Oh my god, Mad 98. You're going to knock out 2 of your teammates. That's going to be unfortunate. And now Lu now does notice that he's going to be pushing right out with the flash being popped. And then he spots out the 2 knocked out players. He's going to take those 2 kills easily. And now the last member remaining is going to be having a hard time there. Oh, Jesus Christ.
No.
No.
Oh, he couldn't. He shouldn't. Oh, it's just terrible. The door was open for free points for Lou, and he couldn't do it. It is just unfortunate, but Sungjong now might be the one who's able to take advantage of this. He sees SMG. He's going to pop a couple shots. A few of those go into the side of the hill, readjusting, looking to see if he can find anything. But right now, there's enough of the hills and the vehicles in the way. They stand up, take a bit of damage as he continues to just take pot shots in there. Smokes are down now as well. Sungjong's probably going to hold this for quite some time. He knows that SMG is very beat up.
And this is pretty much farming points onto these beat-down players, and they've also found a way to get into the next circle as well. So they're just probably just going to rotate in as that path is pretty much clearly given to them. Kim Goni putting some mollies into Sun Sister. That flash is going to blind, and that flash of his own is going to blind Sun Sister as well. These two teams going toe-to-toe. Looks like nobody really wants to push just yet, but Crazy Sam, as his name suggests, is going to push out, but Kim Goni is quick to react. His teammate can't back him up, so that's going to be Sun Sister down dusted.
Max Zora is just going to roll a bit forward. TSG on the side. Max Zora is trying to get points for his team by staying alive as long as he can at this point. He's very good. Max Zora, I say that and I jinx the poor guy. He gets knocked out by Lulu always. A very strong player anyway in Korea. Polly's still alive for Sun Sister. I thought they were down too, but somehow Polly's able to sneak out of all of that, and that might allow, if he can sneak a little bit longer, might allow him to get a little bit further forward, at least into the next circle potentially if TSG gets busy and gets distracted. Their compound's still in, trying to clear out their northern flank as much as they can. Sungjong knocked for Entis, but returning the favor onto COC is Indigo, a little ghost on his knees. But Sungjong very far out from the rest of Entis. Not sure if they're going to be able to get back to him.
I think this might just be a sacrifice onto Sungjong. I think that's his second knock as well, so he's just going to bleed out to that. Too far off was their teammates, so Sungjong down, done soon, anytime. Small finishes him off, so that's going to be a kill point added to them. Champions of competition now on the rotation. They're going to be wrapping far east, so that decision right now is going to be very valid, as it's going to be quite empty on the eastern side. The blue tickling them down. They got to get into the white zone anytime soon. They have a vehicle, so that's going to be lucky for them.
All right, well, let's see what they can do with it. They're going to load and go.
Clown car.
Very fast, very efficient. Like watching, a pit stop at a professional race. Nice job here by COC. That was very effective. They're going to get into that shack for now, get into the circle. Little Ghost is going to be knocked in the process, but they do buy themselves some more time and keep 3 members alive. I really like that the quickness and the speed at which COC did that. That was very efficient.
Nobody can really crash onto T1's compound because there's too many teams checking each other. And right now, T1 is getting favored by the circle as well. So right now, T1, good shot. Entis still 4 up, really good shot. COC 3 up, doable. But right now, there are still some snakes in the game. That's going to be Peng M from TSG and Poli from Sun Sister.
All right. We still have 2 up for T1. They've been quiet since losing Adder and Starlord, their heroes from yesterday early. Let's see what Helen and Rex can do now, as those two were very good yesterday, but quiet in the kill counts. Helen putting up huge damage numbers, though, as we do have a bolt in the hands of Sean Dion. He's got that M24. The rest of TSG still fanning out. They've been able to hold this compound for some time. Now it is time to leave it. There is a drop going down right next to T1. TSG is going to full send it towards this drop, it looks like. They might be interested in trying to get that level 3 gear. We saw this be not very effective for COC yesterday, as they lost a member in the greed. Might have cost themselves a round, as TSG, never mind, they're set full sending it into T1's compound. Already 1 knocked here from Helen's molly. Helen now trying to hold some angles. Rex not really able to help too much on this, but Helen, if you can just hold that long hallway effectively, you can really do some damage to some enemy teams.
His molly was put out so nicely that TSG can't push in just yet. Right now, after they take the res back onto the knocked out member, then they might be content to push Helen out from this compound. Helen now rotating himself to the 2nd floor to see if he can find a decent angle to hold it down. Shandian, being the sneaky ninja as he is going to be placing himself into the little backside of the truck there. And now TSG, they're just going to play this one out slow. COC spots out Poli, so that's going to be Sun Sister down 6. But they did pick up a couple kill points in the placement point now, so that'll be decent enough. Peng now pushing out. That's the wrong side, but
well, they're
Helen is on the other side.
Yeah, on fire a bit, but TSG had plenty of utility available since they were able to hold on to that compound for quite some time north on the outside of this circle. And that's what's really allowing them to move in here effectively, even though they suffered a knock and quite a bit of damage. Smokes were out very quickly, and they were able to maneuver themselves inside of the house, push past Helen's attempt at blockading them, but they're just too strong right now with 4 members up. You can see Small in the back of all of this. He is going to have to move into this new circle, but Rex still in, as is Helen, maybe just barely or maybe not quite. I can't quite tell on the mini-map down there if he's got it. 911 spots somebody, it looks like Lulu always, from Champions of Competition. Underneath the tractor, at least suspects there's somebody underneath the tractor. With the number of players still left, there's actually 13 left in a Phase 8 circle, so there's still quite a few players here.
Helen gets knocked out by Kale, as a matter of fact, and that's going to allow TSG to start moving into the compound. Rex still up for T1, though. Let's see if he can spot out any players pushing in. Volibear finishes off Helen, so easy kill, easy gone. Rex now hiding behind these crates. He's just content to earn those placement points. He's not willing to show himself out just yet until more teams get out from him. Maybe he can snake out and shoot TSG in the backside. We've seen a couple good nades from the Snakes that knocks out like 3 players at 1 nade.
Well, poor TSG, I wonder how much they know. They probably suspect that there's a snake in front of them. I don't know if they realize there's one behind because Small is still back there. They're busy dealing with the flanking of Champions of Competition who have spread out quite widely on the top of this circle, and they're kind of busy trying to keep them at bay, seeing if they can maybe knock Lulu always out and really open the door for them to rotate up. Good grenade from Pang might be the opportunity for them to do that. Here comes the push from Entis. They saw a member. Oh my god, Nan gets 2. Finally, Indigo's able to take it down, but that is 2 knocked here for Entis, and now they're in a world of trouble. Volibear finishes off under. That's not the guy you want to lose here. That was the go signal for Entis. They saw COC lose a member in the kill feed. Turns out it was on the other side, and there was Nan waiting with open arms.
And now Indigo has the burden, the pressure on his shoulder once again to carry his team back up. And that push from Entis, that was the right time to send it, but Nan was just a little better, and he was thinking as he was prone down. Unfortunate for Entis, but that's just how the game is. And now Rex hiding, TSG's pushing out. And can Rex hold it down? Rex gets spotted out. Pang's gonna spray right into him, but Rex finds 1. He's gonna flush it down. 1 good point for T1. Now Rex once more. SMG has came right behind TSG, so that's going to open up the doors for Rex to start getting more kill points as well. He is going to be repositioning himself, going behind these haystacks. He spots another one, another knock.
Nicely done by Rex. This guy is earning a lot of points right now for T1 by himself. He picks up the knock that Small had gotten earlier. Now just Volibear left for Triumphant Song Gaming. It looked like this was going to be their game to win. They already have 13 kills. They might still end up with the most points anyway, but they might not get the chicken dinner. Smoke's coming out for Rex as the final circle is here, encroaching its way towards the players as Rex has plenty of smokes available, although that's his last one. So now Volibear gets touched by the blue here. Rex, not the right time to switch that stun potentially, although Volibear turned. So now the stuns are going to be right in Volibear's face. He's pushing forward. He gets hit by them. Rex is just going to push right into the smoke. It's going to come down to whichever player can react to this first. Rex inching. Rex sees the backside of him. Rex is going to get Volibear. Really nice job here by Rex, clutching out tons of points for T1.
And now it's down to 1 versus 1. Rex, can he make this win happen? And Rex does find the headshot to excess. T1 takes the win as Rex is going to be the clutch carry and the player for T1.
You can see T1 beyond thrilled with the performance by Rex, going over there, giving him some hugs, some high fives. Insane performance here from Rex, stepping up, giving T1 their 2nd win of the tournament. They won the first game yesterday, and why not do it again, Bench?
Rex single-handedly served TSG their death by himself as Helen was knocked out by Kale from miles away. And after that, COC kind of joined the fight, and then all of a sudden, it came down to a situation where it was 1 versus 1 versus 1, and Rex clutched that out by himself.
Insane performance from him. He got a little bit of help from a few other teams, but that's just a crazy finish. I mean, all the kills on T1 going to Rex, and they all come in that final circle, in that final moment. What a huge situation for him to be in. A player who has kind of flirted with being on the main roster of T1, you know, being subbed in place of a COD for this. A player who's been absolutely incredible for T1 at times. And he comes in here and he just clutches the hell out of it and gives them another win. I mean, I'm astounded. Absolutely astounded.
Akkad is probably sweating, cold sweats. Maybe his spot could be taken by Rex more now, but T1 shows their strength that they are the kings of Miramar as well. Not just Erangel, but they're showing their dominance in Miramar once again.
Yeah, and this time it's other players on T1 stepping up today. Yesterday it was Adder and Starlord. Today, Helen and Rex getting it done. And that's a big deal for T1. If all of their players start clicking, when some of the other players are faltering, the other ones step up. It's a huge deal for them in what seems to be right now their march towards a victory potentially. They're really looking strong, and I'm really impressed with them. Obviously, we were impressed in the Korea qualifiers as they won the Korea qualifiers. They look even better right now. Let's take a look at some of these highlights there. Nan had a great game. He had a bunch of kills and was really being a thorn in the side of a bunch of different teams.
Oh yeah, Nan was playing very, very patiently. He could have choked in that moment where he single-handedly served Entis the 2 deaths they deserved, but he didn't choke. He made that happen.
Yeah, he was really, really nice. A great round for Champions of Competition, a team that a lot of people think might be able to do something. TSG did a good job to survive this initial crash and make it work. Great grenades coming in from Pang and TSG to really open things up. Here's that. What a transfer from Nan. My word. That is magic from him. COC almost gets the win on top of it, but at the end, it's this guy, Rex, getting some work done. Comes around the side with that 2x right as Shandion stands up. Rex is waiting. And then this is really heady play. Just keeps working the backside, knowing that...
Oh my god.
Knowing that... I mean, it's so good. He's so good. But knowing that the last member of TSG wants to move up that hill. You want to get up the hill, and he's just following behind and finds that gap. Now, Champion of Competition and Triumphant Song Gaming do come out with more points because of the kills. I mean, look at those numbers. 15 kills.
21 points.
Woo! But the win is T1 and OGN Entis. I mean, look at this. Once again, T1, TSG, OGN, these great teams right at the top of the leaderboard.
But guys, we're going to take a quick break and come back to you with match number 2. So please do stick around.
It is them. It's them. It's them. It's them.
Yeah, I think it's Axel northeast of us.
No, blue. The wild card's on blue.
Walk on blue? Okay.
Yeah, Jazza I just heard his one tap from SLR.
They're gonna crash something? You ready to
Guys
blast
breaching below us?
Yeah, tunnel this card. This is the most important card in our life.
Where are they?
They're spinning out on my
Go.
beam.
Kill him.
Walk on hard. They're just running around like bots. They're scared. Let them get killed. They're in the open, basically. They're just on yellow.
We gave up the west. T8.
What?
You should be holding that at all times. People forced out on orange. They're forced out.
Walkart 2 up.
Everybody just got this side right now.
I'm telling
These are
Walkart.
kills. You should watch out for the guys at the same time. So. People on orange are forced into the open with nothing
That's
left.
running in the open on yellow. Walkart.
Yeah.
We're gonna need to run down here?
Eventually, yeah. These guys are forced in the open south. They're running, literally, in the open. Driving.
Yeah.
One guy driving.
They're driving.
One up. That's not it. Killing. Those are free kills. We need to see if we get any of the points out. Wildcard one up.
We can't T8, so.
Get in there. Flush the shit.
See? And ATC on our right.
ATT white.
3 more points. 3 more points.
Same, by the way.
Yep.
So we just play up top and wait.
ATC not one of those. That's important. That could be Wizard. Wizard's still alive.
I think Wizard might be the T8 guy.
Maybe. I'm running down like this. I think it's a good run.
Okay, wait, we gotta go together, maybe.
I just gotta go. I don't have time to wait the knocks.
Okay. Top floor Wizard, top floor Wizard.
At least two. Not T8, not T8.
Oh, shit.
Bottom floor. 2 on bottom floor. Wizard. Lit.
Did you say 2?
2. Nade it if you got it.
Watch it for me. Watch it for me.
One top floor.
I'm holding your top floor.
Top floor peeking.
Can't cover that. He shut the door,
I'm trying to cover it, but...
Top floor, he opened door. Died one bottom floor.
They're nading me. I gotta deal advantages. Okay. We gotta make a play on this position. It's the most important thing.
I got knocked from far. They're split.
Can't save.
No. He's
Getting
on
pressure
blue.
from this team. Pressure from the right team.
Blue. That's ATC. They're far up. T8, just knock them. On blue.
Okay.
Your last one.
And we are back. The PUBG Continental Series 2 Asia Day number 2 is underway. 1 game in the books. And just like day number 1, T1 comes through and takes the round off the back of Rex. And just imagine, Benz, just imagine you're not watching this live right now. I mean, can you believe that people aren't watching this? What a crazy start to today.
Even just small snippets of clips would be very interesting to watch, but a live scene of action is probably what you would want more. And Rex, you could say T1 got locked out a little bit, but it had to come down to Rex's mechanics to wreck everyone else.
Yeah, it was a huge finish for him. Now, let's not be remiss here and not talk about the great rounds that Champion of Competition and Triumphant Song Gaming had. They were absolutely nuts, fragging out like crazy. I mean, Triumphant Song Gaming, when they went to the house that T1 was holding, they had all 4 members up, and they already had 8 kills. So they were holding down their compound extremely effectively, picking up kills. They have kind of some vision down that hill into a lot of the teams in that area, so they're picking up kills in that respect. And then Champions of Competition, they run into infantry, just absolutely annihilate them, and then they buzzsaw their way through a bunch of other teams, do a bunch of damage to Entis, end up finishing off Entis, and then they almost win the round and pick up a ton of points.
Speaking of TSG, we should also credit Helen for a lot, because when TSG fully sent it to T1's compound, they were so ready to just pound onto Helen, but Helen's Molly stopped their momentum. 911 got knocked out by the Molly, and second Molly as well stopped them from moving into the compound. So their initial momentum was completely stopped, and then because of that, TSG had to slow down.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It was a really nice job by Helen to hold the line for T1, and that allowed Rex to get into that position that he was able to get to and, snake things out. And Rex also got some help from Small, from SMG, who is another sneaky snake on the backside of everything. That helped open the door as well. So poor Triumphant Song Gaming felt probably like they were in control, but there was a few little nooks and crannies they didn't check when there were some players hiding. Now, they did spot out Rex, but then they weren't able to get him fast enough, and then all of a sudden he's able to turn, get one of them, and then there's chaos because they're trying to find Small, and everything just fell apart very quickly for Triumphant Song Gaming. So thank you again, everyone, for tuning in. Make sure you're checking out all those fun events we've got going on. We've got more codes coming at you. We got the quizzes going on, which I seem to understand is working now. Bench and I have no idea what their questions are. I can see your answers in chat sometimes, but
2.
Yeah, I'm like, so it's like Miramar, and I'm like, what? Like, I don't know. Why is everybody spamming Miramar? Yes, we're playing Miramar. I don't know. But yeah, so you get some extra EP, those esports points that way, and also enjoy some really high quality PUBG esports action along the way. So game number 2 will be loading up very soon here. We can see the players are in the lobby, so getting everything fired up for you guys. Although we're waiting for one more to join. Before we kick off. And I mean, these Chinese and Korean teams are just nuts, dude. They're so good.
They are pretty much going toe-to-toe right now. Like, even in the last moment, had to come down to China versus Korea once again.
Yeah. It's like every round is like this. And now I feel like, well, I'm just going to, like, if I was going to make a prediction for this round, I'd just pick a Chinese team to win.
Pretty much.
Because that's the way things seem to go. And I guess I'll go with, I don't know, Triumphant Song Gaming. Let's just go with that. That's how I'm feeling. They're looking pretty good. As game number 2 is about to kick off, there is T1 continuing their climb, continuing their march, potentially towards their first major victory. With, again, the addition of Star-Lord really rejuvenating not just this team, but himself. And it's been really fun to watch them.
Now let's talk about some if statements, although the results are there because the game is finished. But had Entis spotted out Non earlier, or had Non failed to spray the second player down, then Entis would have been at least 2 strong, if not 3 strong. And if Entis was able to drive Non out, then Entis could have crawled all the way behind the backs of COC, wiped them out, and then turned it down to 3 versus 1 of Rex and whoever the last member of TSG was left there. And had that been the case, then Entis could have clearly taken the win there.
Yeah, if Entis had just... It's hard when there's somebody snaking in the grass like that. It's really hard to see them, first of all. And then to react to it is even harder, especially when he transfers so well on his spray. I mean, that was just crazy good. Of course, it made things really challenging. There is Triumphant Song Gaming. 911 looks pretty ready to go, I guess. He's taking it easy there. Just relaxing in the chair, getting ready for the game. But they got to feel good about that last game, Bench. They had a lot of kills. They played that really well. It just a few little missteps in not making sure that things around them were 100% safe kind of led to the situation they were in.
But at least for TSG, their tempo of the games are very on par with everyone else, I feel like. They didn't have to send it to the T1's compound, but at the end of the day, like, they had to send it at the end of the day because the circle was very nasty in terms of just bulky terrains. So them being able to pick up the tempo, definitely a good thing. Just that the momentum was stopped by Helen. That's the credit given to Helen. So TSG picking up a bunch of points as well. Will that change anything?
And the move from TSG is the right one for a couple different reasons. One, they pretty much had a pretty good idea of what was going on in that compound. They've been able to see it for forever. And when they had to move to it, they knew they had an odd man situation. They knew they had a numbers advantage. A. B, they know it's the best position in that circle. So there's two things going for that move, and they make 100% the right decision to go for it. It really is something these Chinese teams talk about when you kind of listen to their interviews and see how they think about the game. A lot of times they don't care even what the numbers situation is. They're just going to go for the best position.
Yeah, positional advantage is definitely one of the top advantages you would want to seek in a game of PUBG. So that's what Chinese teams want to concur for. And right now, we are going to be going right into match number 2 anytime soon, as all the players have joined the lobby. We've seen that. Entis, despite their sad loss of 2 members, they still come out with a decent amount of points.
Yeah, absolutely. It's nothing to be ashamed of if you're Entis. They played that very well. They took good position early on. Taking the area to the east of that warehouse is quite powerful. And then you can see that's why they got to the late game. They're able to cut off anybody coming from the south of them pretty well, especially to the southeast of them. And they do that very effectively in this situation. And had it just not been for an incredible play by Nan, like you mentioned, you made a really good point and explanation about that. They might have won that round. So Entis doing a good job putting themselves into good positions, and that's what we want to see from those guys. Some of the other teams, I think you're going to have bad rounds here and there. So if you're an infantry fan, if you're a 4AM fan, nothing super crazy to be upset about right now. I mean, everybody has bad games over the course of 24 games. You're just gonna have one that just doesn't go your way.
Just make sure that one game doesn't stop you. You always have one of those games where you just eat a nade to your face and just be like, God, I hate that. But you shouldn't be stopped. You should just continue moving forward. And speaking of Entis, today there was a 4 p.m. scrim, and then Entis picked up 18 kills and a win. So although they failed to win this one, they still had the kill points, and I think that kind of shows why Entis is a strong team. When you just go toe-to-toe with them, you probably don't want to do that, especially when Under has picked it back up. Kale doing really well. Sungjiang obviously playing a lot better.
And Indigo has stepped up recently as well. I mean, the whole Entis team got better when they brought Under in, and it just made everyone else around them better too. Under's close quarters senses, his awareness, his danger senses, his ability to kind of recognize and react to things is on another level in close quarters. He's lacking in further range fighting. He's not a bad sniper by any stretch of the imagination, but where he really shines is very close quarter stuff. And what do we got going on here?
VLG and Sunsister, they're on the same route. Looks like they're going to be dropping right on Power Grid once again. These two teams are not scared to go toe-to-toe. Even if they lose a couple members, they don't care. They want to punish the other team for challenging themselves. Right now, you see hot drops right on top of Power Grid. Let's see who finds the gun first. Lambu is going to be the first one to land. Deva has found a pistol. Let's see if he can put that to work. He's actually going to be punching the other player out, but you're so Deva with a pistol. Oh, no. He's got no more bullets, but Hikari's going to punch out Kandesu. Oh my god, how'd you do that? Guys, this is a fighting club. Don't talk about it. The fight club.
We don't talk about fight club. Oh, infantry's taking on Entis. Entis just lost 2 to infantry somewhere else on the side. That's crazy. What is going on? Why are they fighting over this church? What in the heck? You don't fight infantry at this church. No, Entis, it's falling apart here.
Pray to God.
Oh my goodness. You do not fight infantry at churches. We learned this. Sun Sister tried and they failed. And now it is Sun Sister who is trying to deal with VLG. Lambu up here with just a shotgun and a Winchester on the roof. And the Winchester's not particularly ideal in this situation, but it's something. He's going to load it anyway. But why in the world? Why is Entis going that way? That's the Chumasera Church. That's the same one that Sun Sister got obliterated at. Now infantry does it again.
Again and again and again, mistakes happen here and there. But Entis, maybe they were thinking about going for a little picnic, pack your sandwiches, go over there. But infantry was like, you can't be here. But right now, we're gonna be looking for his VLG. Lambu has that pump, and in a close range, pumps really, really destroy people in the face. Poli has a really good angle. If Lambu walks right in front of that window, that could be a good amount of damage dealt to him. Look at Poli's position. Oh my goodness. And Lambu, they're both just snaking this one out. And that's a Saiga S12K.
Yeah, okay. Lambu can definitely hear that. It's just Lambu's at an angle where really nobody from Sun Sister can get to him without exposing themselves. I don't think there's any angles from any of those windows they're going to be able to get to him maybe from the very far left side of what Spear is looking at. You can maybe get some kind of angle, but I mean, you can see right away, you know, they're calling in the information. Lambu heard Polly's jumping, and so that's where Spear is looking. And we'll see what exactly is going to be Sun Sister's idea. There's a grenade being thrown in there. It's actually a smoke from Lambu to try to distract a bit to allow him to reposition, trying to jump up in the windows to get a little bit more information. Didn't see Polly, but based on the sound cues, he might have an idea that he's still there.
Sun Sister is now trapped after losing a member. They're stuck in that little warehouse, and VLG has a really good cover around it, so they have nowhere to exit right now. Deva is going to be cooking that nade, throwing it in there. Let's see if that will do anything. That Molly as well is going to stop the Sun Sister players from coming out. Poli is going to try to push out for a little bit to scout some information, but that won't be valid for now. Lambu is going to continuously jump check, and after Poli being relocating himself, he won't be spotting out any of the players down there.
Well, right now, Sun Sister pretty well blockaded in by VLG. If VLG does this right, they can surround this really, really well and make it it's extremely difficult for Sun Sister to leave. Now, this compound in the circle, so plenty of time for both of these teams to maneuver around each other in this situation. And this is going to be Ghibli sneaking up. Is he going to see that? I know Crazy Sam hears it. I think Hikari heard something. He's cooking a grenade.
Oh.
Is he going to go for it?
He's tossing it anytime. Oh, he saw that player.
He saw that. He switches over to VSS. Full auto to the face of Crazy Sam. Puts him down very quick. Nice reaction there from Hikari. He almost gets caught out that time. Polly comes in with the Saiga. That's going to be Deva down and out. Comes out with another one. Polly getting the door. No, he's not able to. And Sun Sister goes down. But they do take Deva with them. And this time it is going to be Ghibli coming out ahead.
Those Saiga. And now Buyohu wants to get to the face of VLG. That's going to be a bullet thrown right at their face. That res might be possible. They have a couple of smokes, I believe. So Buyohu might just back off from this one. Not risking anything. But recap of Infantry and Entis. What happened over there? What do you think is the what do you think is the basis of their decision making?
I don't know. I don't have a good answer. I guess Entis just... I mean, the plane path was a little weird.
Okay.
But I didn't feel like it was that far that Entis couldn't kind of get over to somewhere over on the eastern coast where they usually go. I mean, we've seen them anywhere from El Azahar to La Bandita in recent history. There's plenty of open space over there. Maybe, I don't know what the play call is there. I don't know. I really just don't know why you'd try to challenge infantry that early in a match. I don't have a good answer for that.
Yeah, the challenge itself was bad, but at the same time, Entis couldn't take a single kill from that.
No.
Infantry has completely shut down their challenger once again, out from PCS1 to PCS2. So I guess now nobody really wants to do it anymore.
I don't know why you would. I don't know why you'd challenge infantry early game regardless of where they are. You don't. They're just too good. They're just. I feel like it's too big of a risk to take. No matter who, what, where, when, why. They're so difficult to get like that. I mean, last round they got finished off early with some good early nades and positioning from champions of competition, and that that's going to be the way you're going to beat them. I don't think you're just going to beat them in
drop.
out and out just close range melee.
Speaking of melee, VLG punching out a player. That was also one of those moments. I feel like.
Which one? Oh,
the punches.
I forgot about that already.
Oh yeah.
This round's been so crazy.
I guess the pistol did enough damage. Wasn't enough to find the knock, but apparently it took him down to low enough of an HP that he could punch him out.
Yeah, that's all you need sometimes. Ooh. Oh, there's an MK14. That's a sweet little pickup for Waste. And the level 3 gear, of course, is very, very nice and quick and easy for him. Nothing too dangerous. Sparrow peeks out a little bit, but he's pretty far away, and I don't really suspect there's going to be a lot he can do about that. Things kind of calmed down a bit after a couple hot drops early on this one. I mean, the VLG and the Sun Sister one, not super unexpected, but the infantry Entis one, very, very unexpected. I mean, we know infantry does drop at that location if they can't get to Impala, but this time around, I don't know. I'm really, really shocked by it. I guess Entis just didn't think infantry was going to go there. They thought that maybe they'd just go to Impala and they could get it. I'm not sure.
That's a possibility, but we don't know what was behind these two teams. We'll find it out later. But right now, we're going to be focusing on what's happening right now. Nine's going to be finding himself a bullet to the body. Lil Ghost putting him down for a good 30 amount of HP. 50 seconds away until we see the next phase. This is a quite even playing path, even circle for number 1 as well. So this could be another city finish, if you can imagine.
Oh, I mean,
I'm down for one.
I know you like them. They're actually nuts, and it'd be really fun to see these teams in really close quarter combats like that. And for now, though, we still have a very, very long way to go before that's the case. Still quite a bit of time even before the Phase 1 circle completes its closure. Doan gonna try to get a 2x bolt shot potentially onto Zach. And that's the loot here, not so great for La Vega. They had to do some of the trash looting to the east of Hacienda, and so they didn't find the most ideal stuff. But Doan's going to go for it anyway with the Car 98, or letting them ring out. And so far, nothing connecting here. I mean, it's going to be a prayer if you get anything to go. And to make matters worse, the vehicle that you have is the one and only bus. This thing is... I mean, it's weird because if you can get a bus into the late game, they're awesome because there's so much cover, but they're so dangerous to even attempt to get into that situation that it's just not worth it.
It's so slow and picks up the speed at the rate of a snail, so probably not the best vehicle to be on early on, but the circle is going to be dropping right on top of San Martin. So guys, this is shining lights at another city finish. I'm hoping for it, but I don't know if the players want that as well. T1 on the rotation coming out of Minas Gerais, if that's the right way to pronounce it.
Yeah, you did good. Minas Gerais. Yeah, I think is about right.
We failed.
No, I don't know. You were close enough. It's good. It's fine.
Yeah.
You do it better than the EU casters. Anyway, so T1 is on the edge of this circle. They came out of Los Leones, and they're going to be heading up through Minas Gerais. And then going up, they're going to be edging towards the kind of that warehouse compound that's to the southeast of Hacienda. There's Solhe Juan Prince, who doubled the amount of points they had by getting another kill on Miramar. They had 1 point on Miramar yesterday. Poor Solhe Juan Prince. I want them to do so well, but there's just... their decision-making at times leaves a lot to be desired. Afrika, another team I'd like to see do well. If it wasn't for Dangche, they might have had an absolutely abysmal day yesterday.
Oh yeah, Dangche saved Afrika. He himself picked up good, like 10 points. I would say all of the 10 points is probably picked up by Dangche. So he is salvaging his team from going out. 4 a.m. now in the rotation. Waste has suffered from a couple of bullets, and looks like he's out of vehicle too. He's just gonna pop out the smoke, heal up, and see if he can get out from the situation. But Sparrow has a really good angle to cover him from coming out from that smoke. So Waste, he's in a world of trouble right now.
Well, he's trying to punch his way to safety, and the reason he's doing that is it makes it a little bit harder to hit. But Sparrow's got that Mini 14, and definitely at the longer ranges, the gun you want to have, the bullet velocity is still really good. And that's going to allow him to call out some of the information to the rest of La Vega, and you can see immediately pouncing toward this, landing a headshot as Sparrow. And now Waste, I don't know. I think you're absolutely right. There isn't a lot of reinforcements for 4 a.m. around him, and all it's going to take is one good grenade. That one's going to be a bit off the mark, though, from Kali. And I think, in this situation, if you're Sparrow, you can try to, what you could do is try to put some bullets. Oh my God. Speaking of, he lands another headshot. He is absolutely filthy with that right now.
I guess at level 3, gear is all beat up. Now, as you can see, the helmet is pretty much dead there. That's your rights. But I almost even feel like Forever could have picked Wayless up if as the smoke was still there. I guess they just didn't want to risk it.
Well, they have another problem where they have a 2-2 split way out to the east of San Martin as well. So it's too risky right now. If they lose 2 and then the circle moves away from them, then they have a really bad situation. They're hedging their bets, and they're able to make it work anyway, just barely because Wayless had that level 3 gear. Had that been not level 3, he might have gotten knocked in that situation and taken down. And good shouting by Savior there, but he's going to get backed off with some return fire. I believe that is SMG coming up the hill behind him. Then TSG rolling up in on the very south end of all of that. So what are they going to do? I see infantry making their way around the western hand side, trying to find something safe and reliable. And there is that hill to the northwest of San Martin. It's got a few people on it, but it's not super busy.
Savior's location. You probably don't want to get knocked out up top of that. We've seen Pio go up there, get knocked out, and couldn't take a res because those rocks are hard to climb. It's going to take good 2 minutes if you can't find the right angle to go up there. Now 4AM has joined the forces, and Lulu's going to put bullets into 9, so infantry is continuing to struggle for the rotation. And looks like 9 gets to go away this time around. Luckily, he's not going to get knocked out. That Bronco is probably as beat up as possible. That tire's probably popped as well. Oh, Jesus. He's going to be spining, strolling around.
Yep, there's 2 tires out, in fact. XS doing a great job, the top fragger for champions of competition in the Chinese tournaments, at least. But 9 able to find some safety behind a hill, get some drinks off. More shots coming through from XS.
Nasty.
Nothing, no knocks, but tons of damage being done by him up on the high ground there. So some really, really good shooting and really making infantry pay as much as they could for the rotation. There's another code for you guys up there on top. Go ahead and punch that in. Get yourself some esports points if you're fast enough. You got to be fast, though. And T1 still working their way around the eastern edge, coming up underneath the south side of ASIA. Now TSG is going to try to push a little bit forward into the mountain, but there's already a couple teams up on the side of this. Afrika's up there. They've got the houses up on the side. Star-Lord gonna get Shandian, and Rex is gonna be there for the confirm. Let's see if they can get another. TSG full sending it up the hill. Star-Lord not able to get anything going with that particular split. Reloads is gonna get a few more shots into the back. They lose a tire in the A. Yeah, good in the air. Good eye on that. And now they're gonna come up to the top of Afrika's hill, and they're in a world of trouble. That vehicle very much on fire.
And now they're going to go run right into Afrika. Probably not the best decision, but Shadow is going to spray that down, change it to a red dot for the close quarter combat. Dengche knocks out 911. Peng trying to return some fire, but now he's in trouble as Dengche is going to pop that nade right on top. He's going to have to run away, and the res is probably not possible. Afrika full content to send it right into TSG space. Dengche finishing that kill. And Dengche looking for more. He is bloodthirsty. EJ is going to get spotted out. But Peng, nice spray down, finds 1. Now it's down to 1 versus 3. That reload is not possible. Second knock as well. Peng, he's going huge right now. Now it's down to 1 versus 2. But Shadow's going to be able to find the knock there. And that's probably the end of TSG.
What is Afrika doing there? They can't just run across his line of fire twice like that. That's a misstep by them. There's got to be better communication there. That is a huge misstep. There was no reason to lose another knock trying to get to EJ. Dengche, a bit of a misstep, but right now it looks like Afrika might be able to get all 4 up. Circle is going to the northwestern San Martin Hills as infantry made their way around the backside. Really, really heady rotation from infantry. Really smart stuff there. Soleil 1 Prince finds themselves in the middle of a circle for the first time, maybe the whole tournament. And now Rex is going to be the lead man or excuse me, he's actually not the lead. Star-Lord already made his way ahead of all of this. I didn't see it until I took a glimpse at the map. And now Helen and Adder are going to try to follow, but Rex does end up falling out and dying because of a motorcycle mishap, it looks like.
It looks like Lockstock was able to take the kill there. And now Bronco in trouble. Zendan going for the spray down. Headshot will finish off Adder. And now Helen with just 1 HP. Can he go even further? Zendan's going to just get out from that compound and see if he can finish the kill onto Adder. There you go. Another point towards GEX Ace. And now Helen, he's going to have to continue running with, what, like 2 HP in his backpack?
It looks like that might be about what he has there, Bench. He's going to find the dip with Star-Lord, and it was a risky rotation for T1, but they had to do something, and getting 2 into the middle of the circle, actually, it's not the end of the world. It's about the best they could have made out of that with the way the circle shifted away from them. Now SMG bolting towards what could be T1's direction, crossing through the lines of fire of Champion of Competition, taking a little bit of damage, but nothing critical just yet. Lanren, in fact, the only one who's taken any damage at all. The vehicles are beat up, but now Star-Lord going to be looking for a grenade. Helen up here as well. Big moment for T1. A full set. 1 knocked here. 2 knocked. 3 knocked on 2 SMG. Helen and Star-Lord holding fast. There's only Small left.
Small's position is revealed as well. Helen's going to peek out. Go for the spray down. Easy come, easy go. T1 picks up 4 more points as still moving under gunfire. Couldn't move anymore under those crossfire lines.
Incredible defense here from Star-Lord and Helen, but Star-Lord did get knocked. Soleil 1 Prince heard all of this. They were watching the kill feed. They know what's going on. They're going to try to sneak some points out of this. That grenade rolls just a bit too far onto Star-Lord. If that one's on point, that's going to be him down and out. Yes, indeed. Now it's up to Helen for T1, but I don't think Maxora or Soul A1 Prince has any inkling to allow him to survive any longer, but Champions of Competition might say no to that, and that's going to be Maxora backing off.
And now Helen is stuck in between these two teams like a piece of ham in between the breads for the sandwich. Let's see if he can get out from this one. XS is going to take the res back onto Lulu. So that is easy. Afrika now sending it down to the western side of the circle. As on the western side, there are quite a number of teams. I don't know if that rotation might be possible. Liang is going to be putting some bullets into Nan. Nan just running around like a clown, but those bullets are not going to be accurate enough to take the knock there. And Logos is getting knocked out by Zhao Yang, in fact, the member who was the last survivor last match, I believe.
Yes, you're right. Zhao Yang was the one who ran away from Champions of Competition. Now they're trying to get into their side. Helen still being the blockade for Champions of Competition. Oh, here comes Afrika running across Soul A1 Prince's southern flank. Some damage being done by Lambu to Juanita. Juanita getting behind the rock now. Gonna go for the grenade. Afrika's wrapping around, and that Molly pops on the side of the mountain, so that's not gonna really reach down. I don't think the fire's gonna be able to spread, but Raining comes in with a grenade and finishes off all of Afrika on the side. Good defense by Soul A1 Prince.
And now Longskirt is trying to do more work. Lulu always gets knocked out. Champions of Competition is going to suffer from double knocks. And all of a sudden, it's come down all the way to Nan to do the job now. But can he clutch this one out? All 4 members are up for infantry, and they're willing to flush these points down their backpack. Liang is going to be flanking around. Longskirt is trying to peek out from the mountain. Nan's going to get into the motorcycle and get going, but the spray downs are coming through. Those 2 flushes that happen, looks like they're just going to let Nan pass away from this one. In the meantime, Maxora did find a knock onto Booyah, who 4AM now trying to put bullets into E36.
Well, 4AM with 4 members up. No kills yet, but they have a good position along the edge of the crater with this, with element 36 there. They should be able to blockade them if they keep wrapping in towards the middle of the circle. Tianba's going to have to scuffle with Sadie's, it looks like. Infantry's on the backside, now working their way back into this. Infantry loves to third party. It is something they are so good at, and they are so patient. You can see 9 is waiting right now, giving the information to his teammates to allow them to come if they so choose. They might not like this fight. It is on the edge of the circle, and it hasn't really kicked off in full force just yet. KJ, a little bit of spray, a little bit of damage. And for now, neither team is willing to aggress onto the other. They're both in the circle, and there's still time.
4AM in a clown car, sending it with a Bronco. 4 people right in it. And looks like right now, nobody has spotted them out just yet. That's going to be Forever getting off first. They're going to be sending it right into SP. Waste is getting knocked out by Juanita. Good spray down. And now 4AM has found a wall to work with. Good spray down from Forever. He's going to return the favor back onto him. Easy knock, easy flush. Kim Goni trying to spot out, but looks like nobody has shown their presence to the crosshair of Kim Goni just yet.
It was really smart by Forever to get out first and be the covering fire here. Takes a bunch of damage right now, though, trying to get in. Kim Goni and Maxora trying to see if they can hold off yet another team from this position. And now, to make matters worse, Global GEX Ace has gotten into this. Grenade up and over, doesn't make it inside. Pops in the air. That Molly's coming down into Pignon's feet. He's burning once again. Forever might be on fire as well. No, he's able to jump on top of some junk to keep himself from burning just now. Waste is up. They are able to get the revive onto him.
What a nade.
So there is a nade from Lou. Kim Goni's on the floor. And now it is a full send, potentially, from 4AM or just 2. And they're going to leave 2-2 in there. Lou isn't able to control it. Now he finally gets a handle on it. Maxora loses his control. And that's going to be Soul A1 Prince out.
And all of a sudden, the circle did shift in their compound. 4AM still 4 up. This might be their game. GEX Ace is sharing it with them, but looks like they don't want to aggress it on top of it just yet. Spear finished off TSG, so TSG is out. Now aggression comes from Tiamba, sending it to Team Sadie's. 9's going to join up the fight, and he's going to spray down Z9 Max from out of nowhere.
Well, he's just been waiting. They're so patient as infantry, and once that battle really got into full swing, they pop over and steal a bunch of kills. 11 kills here for infantry, but 9 is going to get knocked by some long-range shooting from Sophia. We know this guy is good with snipers. We saw it in PCS1. Over to Tianba. They got to get their way into the center of the circle, and it's going to be Lin Shun trying to make something out of nothing. It is a lot of flat, open plains in here. If you can get to the actual plane, you might be able to to get something established as he is looking and eyeing that situation. Might have just enough time to do it with infantry being busy reviving and covering that revive, and maybe kind of long, distance scuffling with Element 36.
Look at infantry. They have already picked up 12 kills. They don't even need more than that right now. E36 has fully sent it now. Cali's going to spot them out, put some spray down into them, but none of them won't connect just yet. Has found that mini. That could be a clean headshot, but that won't be found either. Nan, he's going to be snaking again. Finds a knock and a kill onto Sophia. This guy is a born snake.
He's really just so good at this, and Element 36 now trying to flush him out with some throwables, but nothing has connected onto Nan. He's still full health, and now this has opened the door for 4AM to kind of reach out and try to pick up some points. They haven't picked up too many. They want to scrape up as much of this lobby as they can, as they do have a fantastic position. Now Forever up and over. Element 36 in such a difficult position, and to make matters worse, now La Vega is completely pinching them. Element 36 down in 8th place. Now, what is La Vega going to do? They're going to be the next victims, I think, of this sandwich, because infantry is now itching to join a fight.
Bolyang's going to peek out from the top. That 3x spray is not going to connect, as there are only a couple bullets allowed for him to spray it down. Now he's going to pop that nade. That's going to fall off a little far, I believe. Oh, no! That's going to catch Cali on the run on the foot. So that's going to be a knock from Bolyang. About to make that into 13th kill for themselves. And right now, 4AM still 4 strong. GEX Ace is still 4 strong. Nan is in world of trouble as Longscares connect the nade for 35 damage. And now La Vega, they were able to res the player, I believe, but for how many longer, as infantry's still inching down their way.
I mean, this is so scary. They already have 12 kills. Look how many players are still alive, and you almost feel like, is infantry just going to farm the rest of this lobby? Is anybody going to be able to stop them?
Forever.
Forever. There, finally, somebody picks Nan out of the grass, and that's a dead snake, as now Forever has to throw some smokes because infantry's seeing this, and La Vega's fed up. They're like, all right, that's it. Let's get into infantry's face here. Oh, somebody tries to pop up, but a good response from Sparrow. 9 does get Zenith here, so both teams licking their wounds a bit right now, but it is the front man for infantry who is down. More throwables coming through. Nothing damaging, just some stuns to potentially buy time. See if they can get to their teammate. Zhao Yang sees Kali. Kali taking a bunch of damage. There are a few frags left in the hands of the back liners for infantry. Zenith still trying to prone. My goodness, Longsker, you are an absolute monster. Kali gets stunned. Great timing here from infantry. Right as that stun pops, Zhao Yang is over the hill to take down La Vega, and out they go. Infantry is unstoppable.
16 kills. These guys are farming kills for these. They're farming kills over top teams over 3 different regions. And right now, infantry, although they did lose a member, they're still building up the momentum, and now 4AM has to stop that. GXA still in the picture. Linshan is the solo survivor for TM, but he might be caught off once again as infantry is inching his way once again. And now a minute away as phase 8's about to be shown. Hikari spots out infantry on the rotation, but he won't be able to find any more bullets as they're going to be using that hut to cover themselves. Med up, pop on some smokes and get going. I think they should have plenty of smokes to work with.
They just picked up a lot off the dead bodies of La Vega, I suspect, potentially. So now they're making it rain with those smokes for sure. VLG, though, not really interested in allowing infantry to get into this circle if they can so help it. And 16 kills is absolutely monstrous. I don't know if infantry can make it much further. They do have a motorcycle. They're going to give it a go. It's the best hope they have. Going down the hill, they're going to get right off at the road, in fact, and work their way up. And VRLU Ghibli in a decent spot to potentially blockade this, but infantry is not scared of anything, and their reactions are just so quick and so deadly.
And Lambu, looking for a couple kills of his own, is going to be snaking at the edge of the circle. This could be huge, as infantry doesn't know his position. He could be springing out once again and take the kills like how Dengchi did it to Tiamba. I don't know if that's going to be possible right now. Bolyang may have a decent idea that somebody could be lingering around at the edge, so he's going to be chilling by the fences. That utility is going to reveal his position. Longscreen now trying to flash him out, and now infantry's pushing right into Lambu. Shots from Zhao Yang is going to knock him out, but Spear is going to return the favor, and one knock will even things out. Spear is the last member alive, and he's going to have to back off from this one, most likely, as infantry looks too damn strong right now.
No, they're just nuts. Hikari's finished. It's Spear trying to do something. He had a bunch of mollies, not really able to get him going. There is some crossfire happening in the backside, and infantry is just so methodical, so smart. They know exactly when to get out, when it's safe to leave their vehicles, and just wait. And I mean, it's just incredible what they're doing right now in this round. One of the best performances you will ever see in competitive PUBG, especially if they win this round. I mean, they could put up they could put up like 35 points. It's just insane what they're doing. Spear is just, he's trying to snake out whatever points he can. Now 4AM and GEX have a lot of players, but they're going to have to kind of, fight through each other to get into the circle, so they're probably going to beat each other up a bit. Zhao Yang is just trying to hunt down Spear now. Infantry on a full send, and they're still, again, like I mentioned, there's quite a few mollies available for Spear, but there is no fear here. He has to hear this. Zhao Yang takes a bunch of damage. He's trying to bait Spear up over the hill, and he's going to do it. Spear did get bullying, but once again, Infantry right on the spot to res their teammate.
Infantry's not scared, and speaking of not being scared, GEX Ace is going to send it right towards 4AM. Couple knocks has happened. Lou's been knocked out. Forever is gone a long time ago. A couple knocks as well. Looks like Waste is going to go for the res, and does GEX Ace notice this? Flash will blind them out. Looks like Who's going to go for the res. Pignon's going to be there to watch for any flanks, so the res is definitely possible. 4AM back up to 3 members most likely, but Lou's going to bleed out, so that won't be 4AM down to 2 members. And GEX Ace, all of a sudden, they were very quiet at the side of the compound, and now they're showing their forces. So can they flush out 4AM? As the center is very close to the compound.
Yeah, it is. It looks like it's maybe just to the outside of this antenna-looking thing on the kind of right to the left of Longsker, that tall metal structure. Longsker gets Lin Shun. That's Tianba out in 4th. 19 kills in the bag for Infantry now. I mean, Infantry doesn't even need the chicken dinner. They put up enough points at this point to essentially cover a chicken dinner. Gex Ace trying to full send it in. Amali's going to slow that up for a bit, as now they're going to work their way up the stairs efficiently. Longsker finds another knock.
20 kills.
Almost 10 for Longsker by himself. He is unstoppable. He is absolutely unstoppable. Infantry is unstoppable. They're just pushing right into the center of the circle. While all this is going on, it is buying them all the time in the world to push to the center. 4AM and Gex Ace had to fight each other. There really wasn't a choice, and it opened the door for Infantry, but they are in kind of an exposed position. There isn't a lot of cover for them to work with.
Doesn't matter, as Longsker is holding out to 7 smokes. He's going to be dishing them out to make some cover for himself. Savior has a good angle onto the rock, but Longsker is not willing to peek out just yet. There is still 1 member remaining from 4AM, and he could pull a Rex if possible, but I don't know just yet, as GEX Ace has found the higher ground to take an overlook at everything. Savior going for the spray down. Zhao Yang gets spotted out. Good knock, but Waste is going to spring out. Savior gets knocked out.
I mean, Waste, come on. Like, do this to Infantry. Don't do it to Gex Ace. These poor guys trying to do everything they can to hold on to this. That molly up and over. They know that the roof is now on fire, and that is a real problem here for Gex Ace. Infantry is on the hunt. Zhao Yang bleeding out. They are getting there for the res. It looks like it's going to come down. Zen Nan comes up and gets Longsker knocked. Zhao Yang going to get res, though, by Bullying, and right away, Bullying puts Zen Nan down. Zhao Yang is actually out here. It's up to Bullying to try to win this. It is a 2v2, although Longsker is on the ground. Bullying comes over. Bullying wins it. Infantry! Are you kidding me? Who are these guys? Who are they? I tell you what, they're the best team in Asia. That's who they are. An insane game from Infantry, an absolutely monster performance.
Infantry picked up 24 kills from this lobby and a win. That's going to be a 34-point game. That's probably one of the hugest and the largest points in a PUBG esports history. And how are these guys able to do it? Longsker, obviously, he's been known to do insane things. But 9, Bullying, Zhao Yang, they're popping off crazy right now.
They're just unbelievable. Their teamwork is so good. They're efficient, they're smart, they play off of each other's movements, and the way they play off of, it's just so good. My brain can't even wrap around it. There's so many things they do right that I'm having a tough time putting words together to try to formulate it. The way they play off of their stuns is so quick. The way they sneak up on teams, they utilize the sound to allow themselves to get into good positions where the other teams aren't expecting it. Everything they do is so good right now, and of course, they're insane shooters on top of it.
Their individual mechanics are obviously top-notch from the whole pro scene right now, obviously. Not only that, their whole team as a whole, team movements, shifting the weights, so to speak, is so good. Like, when they have to fully send it, they will fully send it. And because they're mechanically good individually, they will win the battles and the duels. And because of that, they are able to get into circle no matter how bad of a position they're in. from the prior circle.
No, you're 100% right. There's nothing they can do wrong. It feels like in a round like that, everything was so well decided, everything was so well executed. They're always Johnny on the spot to get their reses very quickly, very efficiently, making sure. I mean, 34 points. I'm pretty sure that's the best round any team has done in a Tier 1 PUBG Esports tournament. I can't think of anything that's been quite that high. That's insane. I said 35. They came up 1 point short because Waste stole one out of the backside of that, I think. I mean, just insane, insane, insane. Guys, go spread the news about that one. That was one of the best games you will ever see from a team. I can't say enough about that. For Angry Men with finally a nice performance. Unfortunately for them, it's completely dwarfed by what Infantry Gaming did. And guys, we're going to take a break to kind of regroup ourselves, figure out exactly what is going on in the world right now. Infantry Gaming takes that. We will be back soon with more PCS2 Asia.
In the middle of the field, running open. On this
Nice
hay bale.
behind.
Got smokes.
Yeah.
Behind the hay bale.
Fucking hell.
He's smoking out the shack now.
He's gonna run out. I'm hard scoping him as well.
Yes,
Let's just
jump out.
send
Run
him
out
out.
left. He's taking damage.
Knock that, almost knocked that guy on the bale. He's on green. Hit twice with
Not
us.
in it.
Where are
Yeah.
these close guys?
They're just on the people.
We can take this slow. We don't have to like insta push it. Let's kill the south guy first.
He's right, middle smoke. Right smoke.
Maybe he tries to make that run with the gap. Oh, smoke me up. Like
Phase 3. One penalty knocked.
One of the road guys is 1 HP.
Where is he? Smoke.
Knock, knock, knock.
Nice.
That was the shot guy, right?
Yeah, knock shot.
Road. Knock.
Dead, don't feel dead.
Should be on the cars.
Healing. Nice. No.
1 HP on the road. 1 HP on the road.
I knocked a different team.
1 HP on the road if you didn't flush him.
Okay.
Knock
I
him.
didn't.
Nice.
I'm second
get
bleed.
the
I'm
rest.
dead. I'm dead.
I have no smoke. I have no smoke.
Have to res insta if you want res.
Resin.
It's only in now.
Just res. That's all you want. I'm gonna run up right.
Right now. Go under the road. Go under the road insta. Yeah. Nice. Fuck
Come
you,
left.
buddy.
Come left. Come left.
Someone come me as well.
Yeah, I'm coming with you.
Flash in this stuff.
I'm looking for you two. None.
A road by me.
Coming, pushing him straight.
I'm flashing him.
Behind the car probably.
The car.
There he is. Here.
One flash.
Nice.
Oh, bad.
You guys are sick.
One bomb.
Had 9.
2 bomb. You had 9?
Yeah.
You're f***ing cheating, bro.
Go, boys.
Let's go, lad.
Let's go.
Finally won something. Let's f***ing go.
Congrats.
We're just cracked and nuts. And better.
So
Can you finally win something? 3 Mac? No?
3-1, 3-Mac.
Yeah.
That was like a small
That was small though.
Yeah. This team hunts for the big thing, bro. Let's go.
Arrow.
Yo.
Time.
2 and 2. Oh. Okay.
Oh, I'm so happy.
I'm going then. Congrats, guys. I'll be right back.
Big one kill.
And we're back. PCS2 Asia with one of the most dominant games you will ever see. The most dominant game in PUBG Esports history just happened. Infantry Gaming, 24 kills, over a third of the lobby, as you so eloquently put it on your little tweet I saw there, Bench. I mean,
I lost all my energy.
I'm so in love with what I just saw. So many good decisions made, so efficient squad work. I mean, this is so good. Just the way they move back and forth, the way they open things up for each other. If one of them goes down, one of the other ones is right there to take advantage of that fact. The stuns are good. They play off of those. The smokes are good. The movement is good. Like I said, their micro movement with vehicles is something to really take note of. I think you're going to see a lot of teams start doing more of this, where you kind of only move like maybe 20, 30 meters with a vehicle. You're not full sending it all over the place. You're just kind of leapfrogging a little bit from place to place, knowing, kind of where the other team is and having such a good knowledge of the terrain that you're able to stop on a dime. Be like, here, they can't get us here. We can set up shop for a second, get into a fight with them, and win it. And I am over the moon right now. What a game.
So traditionally, in a typical setup, you would have a in-game leader, a fragger, a support role, and a free role. And traditionally, you would say support roles, they know how to use the utilities. And in terms of individual mechanics, they fall off a little bit, is what you would usually think. But for infantry, it just so happens to be that every single one of them, doesn't matter if it's Longsker, Nine, Boliang, or Jiao Yang. Obviously, Jiao Yang has either Boliang or Jiao Yang has just a small number of kills, but it's because he's in the backside as a support role. But for the support role of infantry has to go up front and fight, he wins the duels because he's as good as other players. His role doesn't stop him.
No, you're absolutely right. Everything is going right for infantry. Their communication is 100% on point. Their decision making is 100% on point. Their shooting 100% on point. Their throwables 100% on point. It is all going their way, as we just watched magic. We watched perfection. I don't know that you're ever going to see a better PUBG game than that. I don't know. And it all started with Entis, for whatever reason, sending it into infantry at the very beginning at that church. And we saw Sun Sister try it once. They got dusted. Now it happened again. Entis gets dusted. That's 4 points right in the bag of infantry. Then along the way, they're just mowing down squad after squad after squad. And then eventually they're down to 3 players. And somehow Boliang sprays through 2 members of Gex Ace at once to get the win. I mean, just incredible. And then Longsker, he's already averaging over 600 damage a round coming into today. Well, that's going to go up.
He was sitting at 650 at day number 1. Day 2 is about to be even higher. I would say about 800 would be a right number right now. But for Entis, I want to quote Pro Service over there in North America. He goes, "Honey, what are you doing? Entis, what are you thinking about hot dropping a team like infantry? Probably not the best idea to do." And
no.
I don't even know. We'll have to recap what really happened. It could have been a decision-making from the in-game leader for Entis to just go for it, might as well as Impossible too far from the plane path. I don't know.
Maybe there was some trash talk behind the scenes, in the Discord server or something.
The coaches calling each other, I
don't know. I don't know. But whatever happened, I mean, I feel bad for Gex Ace because we're not talking about them despite an incredible round from their players. Zenon, Savior, and Buyo all up there in the top damage. I mean, they had a very, very fantastic round, and Lin Shun's up there once again. He's having a great tournament, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because infantry just mopped the floor with this lobby.
Oh, did they just mop the floor? No, they juiced out every single bits and pieces of these players for the points they could take, and that's what really happened. But we are going to be switching things over to the grassy lands and the tree houses of Erangel.
Yeah.
So teams are going to be a little bit happier, I would say, because they know if it was more Miramar, infantry is going to be so scary. So this time around, infantry could be stopped. You never know, but it looks like their momentum is still there for them.
Yeah, they leapfrogged into first place. They were, a decent amount behind T1 going into that game, and now they're almost 10 points ahead, maybe more than that, of T1. It's incredible. Yeah, they're 12 points ahead of T1 right now. I mean, they put up 2 wins in one game. Essentially, they put up 2 wins in one game. I mean, that's what they did. And for all of these players, Now, okay, at this point in the tournament, all these other teams need to take a step back and go, how do we stop this? Because teams that drop around them, do we set up traps? You can't hot drop infantry. Just throw that idea out the window. Don't ever do that again. But we can set up traps around them. We can, watch the kill feed very closely. Oh, we see infantry in the kill feed. We know they're somewhere. Let's get on them. Let's third party them and let's knock them out. Because if you don't, and they have another round like that, just give them the trophy.
I think if they have another 20 kill win or even like a 15 kill win, this tournament is just mark my words, just nail the coffin. It's a done deal at that moment. But looks like we are going to be taking off on the plane anytime soon for the match number 3. And after this, we're going to have one more Erangel. And then coming out after tonight is going to be 4 more matches of North America.
Yep.
And over there, it's a bloodbath over there in North America as well.
Crazy good games in North America. Really fun to watch. Really interesting to see some of these other teams stepping up. STK didn't have the best day in NA.
They're still in the middle, though.
Yes, they're still fine. Because of their last round, they hadn't managed to scrape it up. But that's fine. It's only 4 games. There's 6 days, so there's a lot of room to come back if you were one of those many people who picked STK to win NA. I don't think you're wrong for that pick at all. Plane path, a little Western heavy on this one, starting over Primorsk, heading up to Severny. So Eastern dropping teams are going to have a bit of a tricky time getting to their usual drop locations. And, for example, Sun Sister likes Milta, so I think they might just wait for Severny. They used to drop Severny a lot, but then that location became hotly contested in Asia, so they kind of gave it up for a bit. And other than that, I don't see anything too crazy out of the ordinary.
Speaking of being ordinary, 4 a.m. VLG going back to school and apartments is one of the ordinary, so we shouldn't be too excited about that. But this time around, VLG might be able to win this one as they were completely shut down yesterday as 4 a.m. set up a nice little double trap in the apartments and VLG just ran into the crosshairs. And this time around, nobody's going to school. They're going to be hot dropping on apartments once again. And you know what's scary is VLG is not scared. Even if they lose a round, they don't care. They will send it once again. These guys are barbarians.
I mean, the stubbornness on both of these teams is absolutely insane.
Look at that!
What the?
What? What?
That is quick. That is an insane quick scope with iron sight. I mean, absolutely insane from Lambu. Wow. Well, I mean, these games, bench, I don't even know. These games are so good. They are so good.
Lambo's going to completely delete Wayless from this lobby and waste, my bad, but he's going to get deleted like a piece of file in the folder. But right now, 4 a.m., they are willing to pay some revenge back to VLG. Forever has a pump. We've seen Forever and Pump, one of not the best combos, failed to kill one of the members up top of the ceilings yesterday. Tommy Gun destroyed him left and right.
Yep.
And Pignan's going to put out that gas just in case if anyone's willing to get into here. I don't know if that's going to be a valid way to put it there.
Pignon, what are you looking at? Who's in there with you? There's somebody. So my real question right now is how does VLG adjust to what happened to them yesterday when they lost? What's going to be the change? And it looks like this time they're being much more patient. They're not just full sending it. But they got to be careful because I don't think they really know where everyone exactly is on 4 a.m. Hikari's coming inside, and they might have gotten a little distracted and might have not caught him moving in there. Lambu's looking down the stairs. Pignon, of course, still holding that angle at the door. And for now, VLG being much, much more cautious this time around.
And this time around, VLG's not really looking for that kill train, so to speak, running into clear out the compound. Instead, they're going to be spread out to hold on to the real estate, just holding on to the windows. So is 4 a.m. Forever just looking out to see if anyone's coming out. Deva is going to start to crawl down, and so is Spear and Lambu. And right now, Pignan has a barrel in his hands, and that could be very nutty when it comes to close range. Doesn't even have to be a headshot. I would say like 3 body shots will do justice to any players in the crosshair.
Well, and because they're fighting each other like this, the armor and other things aren't going to be as good, and therefore it's even better to have a gun like that. And he has good level 2 gear for himself as well, does Pignon. So if he can get something, it'll be quite good. But again, this one's almost dead center. So there's a lot of time before things could happen. Entis is in Primorsk again, based on this plane path. This time it's actually Solhei 1 Prince in Yasnaya, because they know it's going to be open. Usually Solhei 1 Prince is more towards Lipovka if they can do it. You can see there's a landmark change, and it's because of the plane path.
All right.
Ooh, Hikari goes outside, and that was a mistake, as he is going to pay very quick, very effective work done by Lu.
Missteps from Hikari is going to even things out, equalizing the situation for 4AM and VLG. 3-on-3 now. Kills being picked up one by one. In the meantime, Afrika's gonna get caught off. GEX Ace, Lockslog, putting some nice spray down onto Hansia. Easy flush as well. Rest of Afrika, where are you at? Are they here? Close enough for the support? Yes, indeed. Jay's going to knock out Lockslog, but can they flush it down?
Well, we'll see. It's interesting. And oh my god. Buyo had the head, couldn't get the spray to connect. Now Dengche working along the fence line with Savior mirroring him on the other side. There's another member in front of Savior. Dengche taking a bit of damage from Savior around the corner, and Buyo, who barely able to do that with the Thompson. The first spray not good enough. That gave Dengche a chance for a rebuttal, but it didn't come through. Now Shadow on the outside with that iron-sighted SLR. A little bit of damage done, but no knocks just yet. And EJ and Shadow trying to salvage something here for Afrika Freaks.
And now it's down to EJ versus the world. Zennan's going to pick up the kill onto Dengche. EJ's position hasn't been revealed just yet. But if a GX Ace just runs in, he's going to have to control that spray down. He only has 30 bullets. He doesn't have the extended meg there. So it's going to be a hard spray down. And right now, GX Ace is going to play this one out slow. They're going to clean out one room by room. They're going to play this one out very carefully. Savior peeking out. Might be able to spot out a player. Nope, not just yet, but now he's going to try to step into the window and the door. And can EJ hold it down? Here comes the test. EJ finds one, but Zenden is quick to react. Takes the knockback onto EJ, and now Shadow going for the support, but can he do it?
He's got a frag grenade. He could get it going. The fire coming now from champions of competition up on the hill. Shadow does get Savior here, going for the grenade. Now, EJ has been finished. Grenade in the door. I think it landed inside of there, but doesn't do any additional damage. Excuse me. Zennan, Buyohu, still holding, and now champions of competition are looking to feast upon this buffet that is in front of them, as they have really beaten each other up, and they're going to have a good opportunity to do this.
Oh yeah, XS is going to knock out Savior, and XS is going to run in. He gets spotted out, but that's going to be a good spray down. How did he even find that hesh onto Zennan? So that won't be clearing the compound easily. Buyahu gets spotted out. The molly spreading. Lulu always puts him down to the floor. GX Ace is eliminated, and now all of a sudden, Shadow's like, just let me be here. Just dear God,
leave me alone.
Just leave me alone.
And that is not going to happen. Champion of competition, they're going to swarm this. They have a pretty good idea of where he is, and now they're definitely going to be trying to send it, and it's going to put Shadow up here. Now, you can do some goofy stuff in these 3 stories. You can make cheeky escapes if you buy enough time. If you can bait the other team. Oh, that's a good stun. If you can bait the other team into getting pretty far up the stairs, and then you can sneak out one of the side windows. There's some ledges you can work with as well. What are you doing there, Shadow? Why? That was just a mistake there. He didn't want to fall down and set himself on fire, and now he's going to pay the price. Lulu always going to find him trying to get out the window, but it's not a good start for the Freaks or for GEX Ace.
This is why Chinese teams are so scary. They will just run into you for third party. Like, not even like third partying outside to just shooting with SLRs, DMRs far away. They will actually come up close range and ruin your day.
Yeah, they know when you're in a bad situation, and they'll always take advantage of it. It's really smart. More teams should start doing it. That's why China's having so much success this year. They're capitalizing on team mistakes, always going for good position. There's a lot of good things they're doing that a lot of other teams and regions should start paying attention to, because from my eyes, from what I see, I think the Chinese teams are the best in the world right now.
In the meantime, 4AM and VLG is going to go for the Asian standoff. Continuing into phase number 2. none of these teams were able to farm up well. So they're sitting low on meds, low on utility, and probably beat up gears. So this is not benefiting both of them. This is just destroying and inching into their abilities.
This is filler episodes of Dragon Ball Z right now.
Oh, yeah.
Just nothing going on. Goku and Piccolo are learning how to drive cars. We don't know why. All right, over to La Vega. Last time they came to this compound, they lost a member, but this time T1 is here. Adder's running. There's no reinforcements. He's all alone.
Here comes the reinforcements.
All right, well, now they're coming. And for now, it's him and Helen. Let's see what Rex and Starlord are going to opt to do, because it's a 4-man push from La Vega into the sushi houses, which, again, people were very confused that we call these sushis. What else do they look like, guys? There's a salmon on top of that rice.
Some good shots being put down by Adder. Callie's taken down to 19. And he's going to have to find a small room to heal himself back up. In the meantime, Adder is looking to push a little further into it. Sadie's, in the meantime, is going to knock out a player from Tiamba. So we're going to have 2 different actions going on. And that's a bolt in Yuri's hand. That's an M24. And that could be very accurate on the heads of the players of Tiamba.
All right, well, we want to see something from Sadie's. And now might be their chance. If they can go toe-to-toe with Tiamba, I think that's going to give them a lot of confidence going forward. Smoke coming down, M200. The runaway is in full effect for Sadie's. They want to get as more central as they can, and they already have 2 ahead of them, so they should be able to get there, I think, relatively safely. I don't see anyone really in their path or the ability to cut them off, and they're going to let that knock go, and Tiamba is going to be able to get back to 4. The standoff in the sushis continues, as neither team really wants to aggress on the other. But T1 has a bit of an advantage because you have Starlord out there who's able to cover a lot of the angles that La Vega would take to get in or out of their house. Over to Solhewan Prince, and they have rolled up into a compound that COC has. There's only 2 in here now. Can Solhewan Prince put this together? They got 3 kills somewhere. I don't know where that was, to be completely honest. Let's see if they can pick up a few more here.
Lilogos going for the spray down. Pot shot's not working. Kimgoni flanking from the side. He might have a good angle if Lilogos pops out. And so is XS. XS holding onto the window. And right now, Kimgoni has nade. That might just do the job. That flashbang is going to blind him, so he's going to have to back off for just a couple seconds. He's going to throw it at that. Oh, no, that's going to bounce off right on the window. Kimgoni failing to deliver. And now, rest of Solhewan Prince, they're going to be completely surrounding this compound. They want to finish off Champions competition and farm the kills here.
I mean, this is a little uncharacteristic of Solhewan Prince, not able to get their throwables inside the windows. Those are hard windows to get stuff inside of. Now Juanita being forced inside because of some shots from SMG. Fire on the ground in front of XS, but he can jump on top of the radiator. That's okay. Now spraying through the windows, smoke in the way as well. He's just trying to buy time, just trying to cover himself. Juanita has gotten inside. I wonder if COC really knows about that. XS, are you on fire? You are. You're going to get knocked. Now it's up to Lil Ghost. He's going to cook a stun, maybe cook himself. I don't know if he knows that fire's there. He's going to run right into it over to the other side and try to confuse Solhewan Prince here. Only burns a little bit. First aid incoming. Grenades incoming. And it's now, I think if Solhewan Prince, they should be aware there's only 1 member of COC in here, and they could potentially flush this out.
Speaking of flushing out, Lilogos is not willing to get flushed down the drain. He is going to be chilling on top of the sofa. Solhewan Prince now sending it into this room. Random spray downs. He has a flashbang. I think he has just seen the player. That's going to be a complete blind for these players. He's going to go for the pot shot. Knocks out 1, but it's going to be Solhewan Prince to finish him down, and so is Champions of Competition.
It was a cheeky play. I like the try. I really do. He stunned, just ran in there and tried to see if he could get an extra point. He does rip the helmet off of Max Zora there, but for Solhewan Prince, a really nice start to the round for them, picking up quite a few kills. Finally, might be able to pick up a little momentum for themselves. And next time on Dragon Ball Z, it's VLG and 4 Angry Men once again. Still nothing has happened, but now VLG looks like they're ready to make their move.
You see Spear with a double barrel. That might be put to work. In the meantime, E36 is going to destroy Sun Sister, so that's going to be off the screen for now. But we're going to be looking over to 4 AM. Pignon holding on to the edge of the door. Nobody's really willing to pick a angle into it. Lou's got a nade. He's going to be throwing it right into the window, looks like. In the meantime, Japanese teams killing each other. E36 destroying Sun Sister. And let's see, 4 AM and VLG. These teams now have to leave the compound. It's outside the next zone.
Yep, that's why the push is on. That's why finally this fight has to happen. There's no more choice. You can't mess around any longer. Otherwise, you're going to start eating a lot of blue because it will be phase 3 and then quickly phase 4. Coming out the window is Lou, trying to see if anybody's going in or out. There's another code for you guys. Get that in there. Oh, that's hard to tell. I think that's an O, then a 0. IRZZGO0LDTEH. One way or the other. They're different, you can tell. I think it's... I think the second one's the 0. All right, over to Pignon. I don't think Pignon has moved in approximately, like, 13 minutes. I think Pignon has been sitting there the whole time. Pure Boy got knocked, I think, from Sadie's, is what I believe our observers are showing us here. And Pure Boy should be resable. Now, Yuri, he is a bolter, and he's pretty good at it. And there's a few, pot shots being taken at his window, trying to allow E36 to get in position to go for the res. Solhei1 Prince has an easy entry and then potentially a blockade they can set up towards the remnants of whatever happens in this eternal struggle between 4AM and VLG.
Well, phase 4 circle is going to tickle quite a bit, so these players have to leave the compound anytime soon. Pignon's going to find a good angle. Nice spray down, but Lambo's quick to react. That's going to be VLG destroying Pignon. David got knocked out in the process. Hikari completely flushed as he was running out to the apartment. Ways to pick that up easily. And now 4AM with just Lou. And another player up.
Health. Spears no health. He's got to do something quick or find health somewhere because he didn't have any, and he is going to chunk down quickly. If they don't get moving, Lou, forever is done. Lou's got to go somewhere else, I think. He just should leave, and here's Spear going to get knocked on the stairs. And I don't know if Ghibli has the utility to make anything happen. And Ghibli actually ends up going out. Max Zora finds Lambu. So, all for naught, once again. The battle for the apartments rages on, and nobody profits from it.
The one who profits is Solhei1 Prince, is basically barricading the whole edge of the circle. Lou's trying his best to hold it down, but Entis is now facing the aggression from... Oh my god, Under almost got ran over, but Shandian's quick to knock him out. Sungjang finds the knock onto Shandian, but Indigo's quick to knock out 9-11 as well. Entis now with just 3 members up, and TSG down 3 members.
Yeah, OGN needs to wrap. They can finish TSG off here if they're aggressive on this. Indigo holding a line. He needs to stay alive right now. He saw where that grenade came from. He spots Volley Bear, doesn't get anything onto those shots, and Sungjang gets a lot of damage from Sparrow as he moves forward. Volley Bear takes a grenade right to the face. It's going to back him up. Pang with a good shot takes Indigo down. Sungjang going for the heal. Kale in here, full health. Kale trying to save the day. Sungjang gets Volley Bear down. Indigo is flushed out by Pang. Here comes Sungjang around the corner. It is all up to Pang to try to save the day for TSG. He is going to prone down. There are too many other teams that can kind of see that position. If he gets any higher up, going for the energy drink. Sungjang and Kale looking to hunt down this survivor.
Pang can make this happen. He's already shown us he's able to clutch these kind of situations. 1 versus 2, good spray downs will do it. He's going to find Sungjang now, 1 versus 1. Kale is the last member for Entis. I don't know if it's the right time to put out those mollies, but Pang's going to go for the push. He's going to find the good spray down, but it's going to be Dawn from La Vega miles away. He's going to third party right into TSG, knocking them out from this lobby, and Entis is going to be able to take the res back onto Sungjang.
Yeah, Entis, not a terrible job. They made the right decision to go for the fight against TSG. They're going to come out with 2 alive. They didn't get that last kill onto Pang. Again, Pang was in a weird spot because if he pops his head up, then La Vega or other teams can see him over the lip of that artillery shell crater. Lou has one more first aid. I think he can get into the next circle. Oh, no, he can't. Never mind.
Caster Jinx?
Yeah, nope.
I feel bad for Lou. I actually feel bad for Lou now.
I do too. I thought he was going to maybe sneak in there. I'm sorry. And then speaking of eternal standoffs, La Vega and T1 still at it over here. Nothing has changed there. SMG, Sadie's, Tianba, since Pachinki is in here, all making their way to the east side of it as the circle is likely to shift away from the city itself. Infantry's been very quiet this round. All 4 up for them. I think they've gotten 2 kills, if I'm not mistaken. I think they... No. They didn't get any kills. They had 84. That's right. They were 12 ahead of T1. So no kills at all for infantry, but they're 1 placement away from getting in the placement points at least. And again, no one wants to see any of that, but this time infantry choosing to play a more... Well, I don't think they chose to play a more passive game. It just kind of came to them that way, and they're making good decisions to get here. As Circle says...
Circle says.
Waiting.
Simon says.
Oh, come on. Man. Everything feels like it's taken forever in this game. Okay, right on top of La Vega and T1, so those two going to probably have to defend a couple teams trying to push into their territory. The backside of the hill to the east of T1 and La Vega is going to be open for a little while. Some teams can funnel into there. But everybody else, is going to be stuck in Pachinki, and the fields are going to be kind of wide open. Actually, not much is really going to change in this circle.
Infantry is just going to find themselves the eastern side of this current circle. It's completely empty except Solheon Prince on the top side of it. So looks like they're just going to chill out for this one. Erangel may not be the best met for themselves, but Infantry almost won that against Entis last night. So they're just playing this one out safely, passively, so to speak. So they're not willing to risk to go into Pachinki anything, as the circle did move outside of Pachinki for now. So if they did decide to go into Pachinki, that would have been devastating for Infantry. In the meantime, the standoff between T1 and La Vega continues. Looks like nobody's really willing to aggress, as it's almost the dead center of the current circle. At the same time, if any teams decide to leave Pachinki, they have to go through the fire lines of these two teams.
Right. Yeah, here we go. Raining. Gonna regroup with Juanita. This building's a little awkward, and they get in there. Mostly unscathed, a little bit of damage, but nothing critical, and they're gonna drive a couple more motorcycles inside of the house to keep them safe for now. Here comes Element 36. One of the better rounds for them, at least, in terms of getting to a later game situation with all 4 players up. Still, though, they're on the northern side of the circle, which isn't terrible, but I don't actually want to see them try to aggress and try to push much further forward than they have to right now. There's no reason for it. Nobody in this circle really needs to fight each other. There's enough room on the edges of this field for now that you can be patient and just wait this out. Maybe get a few pot shots here and there. But maybe Element 36, they're going to have to wrap up a little bit. Oh, Max Zora with some help from Satao. Juanita finishes the job. Satao tried to steal that, but isn't able to get it. Another point here for Solheon Prince.
Solheon Prince farming kills here at a good spot. And now Pure Boy has pulled on top, right in front of UKL, so UKL has to be careful. Any nades could do dirty to them. So they're going to have to reposition themselves a little behind. E36 themselves found a nice amount of land to put themselves in the current circle. But they have to start moving once again, as we are about to see the next circle in the 20 seconds. At the edge is probably not likely to be included. And La Vega, I think both of these teams are just looking towards Pachinki. They know there must be a bunch of teams inside of it, and they know they have to leave the whole city. And it's an open field. There's not a lot of coverage to take, and there's only one dip, I would say, that you can probably even just run your vehicle into and save yourself from. So it's going to be an easy kills to be picked up by these two teams. But they should be careful, as Infantry's right behind their backs. And if Infantry kind of comes down from behind and catches these players off guard, T1 or La Vega, then that would be the worst nightmare for these teams, giving Infantry more kills.
I really am curious to see how Infantry approaches this particular situation. They're not in a great spot once they have to leave this hill, and so you can see them scouting this. They want to see what's going on in those trenches where Entis had their battle and with TSG. Now, if Infantry just sends it, and you can see Longsker, he's repositioning, getting ready for something, keeping that vehicle safe, making sure the tires are okay, getting ready for whatever they're thinking about doing. They're probably going to wait. I wouldn't be too surprised to see Infantry just kind of come in late to this one. Star-Lord ends up leaving the house that Raining came to, and he doesn't want to try to fend off a push from Solheon Prince. I don't blame them. They're, at least in Korea, they were a very good up-close and personal team, as they do now manage to establish control of that house. Element 36 still has their vehicles available. They have to send it. They're on the edge of the circle. Where are they going to go? Nowhere, because Zach just puts 2 of them down quickly with some nice headshots there. That is some really good shooting. Unfortunately for him, both of those just got stolen. That's heartbreaking. They steal one themselves. Infantry sending it into Entis' face. And 9 is down. Bullying had a bit of a vehicle mishap there, so that's going to keep him a little bit short of where I think he probably wanted to go. They're holding the line now. A bunch of teams getting involved. 9 is down. Grenades are out. Bullying out now as well. Infantry didn't have great options, trying to make the best of it.
At least they were able to salvage Longsker and Zhao Yang out of this one. The nade's going to put them down for a little bit of HP. Entis is in a little bit of trouble, as La Vega has a good angle into their position. Longsker's nade is going to pop Songjang into pieces. And now it's all down to Kale. Longsker spots out Kale. As a matter of fact, here's another nade. He's going to throw that right into the face. And now Longsker going for the angles. Is that nade going to explode? Yes, it does, and that will chunk Kale down. And Zhao Yang's nade is going to miss, but is Longster going to push, or he's going to hold it down? Zhao Yang's going to go for the huge play, jumping down to the cut, and he will finish Entis by himself.
Yeah, they lose 2 in the transition, but they are able to break the hold that Entis had. Excellent work here. It wasn't ideal. There were a few missteps for infantry, but they get the job done. They establish themselves on the southern part of this circle. Infantry continues to impress. La Vega now in trouble because T1 has set their sights on them. It's finally time to clear them off the side. Zenith out, the top fragger for La Vega. Not the loss they want to suffer here early on. And now La Vega waiting to see if T1 pushes. Looks like that was just more of an opportunity off of some throwables there. Some headshot damage done to Sparrow. But things slow up because the circle's still right on top of T1. And enough of that building is in there for La Vega that they don't have to leave it.
Look at this circle. This is actually nasty for like good 60% of the teams right now. SMG has to move into this one. Tiamba has to move into this one. Infantry's dead outside of it. So I don't know how many more real estate is in this one currently. Looks like Tiamba's going to be chilling inside the sewer for now. Even though the sewer is going to be outside of it, looks like. Maybe there's a little bit of it, part of it, inside the white zone. I'm not exactly sure, but
where Lin Shun is in. Right here where the observers are showing us is in. So they have something to work with. It's not ideal. And if there's some good throwables that land on the inside of there, some frags or mollies, it could make quick work of Tianba because they don't have a lot of other good choices. SMG making their way down the drainage ditch. Smokes out. Tons of smokes having to be used by both of these teams right now just to try to get into position early on. That could be potentially devastating for them later on. Speaking of smokes being needed to be used, infantry is going to have to throw some of their own. So a lot of these Chinese teams going to have to make their way into the field. And smoke's going to be a big part of that success, and infantry cannot make it this time around. It is going to be La Vega that knocks them down in 6th place.
now infantry out from the picture. It's all down to T1 in La Vega. TM is still in the picture. Actually, a good nade from Laurent. This guy's continuing the kills with his nade. Actually, although Matt 98 is going to be able to res. Mbale is going to go right for that res here. The blue is moving right behind them, so they have to start moving anytime soon. The Molly's going to stop them from pushing out any further. They're holding on to the edge. This player is really, really good with his utilities, but at the same time, he's a really good shooter as well. So can SMG push him down?
We'll find out. They're going to give it a go. Nope. Z9 puts Lanren down instantly, popping up and over. Now there's Mad 98 going down. They're going to flush both of those, almost picking up another one. Max Zora getting some shots into the side of M200. That makes him go down the hill. Grenades exploding everywhere. SMG absolutely shredded by Tianba and Soul A1 Prince.
Lorena did get knocked out, but he is easily rezzed as they're still inside the dip, and the circle is finally going to move away from T1 and La Vega, right in the dead center of the fields. And now it comes down to how many smokes do you have is going to be the key factor for you to win this game.
Absolutely. These field endings come so much down to utility sometimes. It's really interesting. That could be a problem for Tianba. They did a good job. They're still 4 up. They didn't suffer any losses, really, other than some utility. So going forward, curious to see what they've got. Soul A1 Prince already establishing the northern perimeter for themselves. T1 now going to have to make a move along with La Vega. And this is kind of one of these weird situations where whichever team kind of makes the first step out might be the one that loses between T1 and La Vega in terms of getting into this next circle. So gotta be kind of curious to see where that one goes. Juanita putting some good shots down. Sparrow's gonna move out into the shack room. What? Wow, Doan.
Yeah, that buggy's
That is
stuck.
a heck of a peek. Yeah, that buggy's done. That was a heck of a peek headshot there by Doan. Adder's trying to hold off a push. Gonna shut the door and pop a stun. Open, out the door. Blue is here. That stun's gonna go, but he's gonna try to go a different direction. And he's going to go out the window here. That's a good stun. He has smokes. He's going to have to pop those out to allow him and his teammates to get through. Around the side is Helen with a nice double. Juanita's over here watching all of this, trying to help. Helen does get knocked by Doan. Adder's going to get knocked by the circle. So that's 2 on the ground for T1. Star-Lord just sending it into the middle. That's the only option he really has, and he's going to be the one to get forward. Rex kind of stuck along the line. No helmet. Can he get in?
Solheon Prince now shooting towards Tiamba. Lurena gets knocked out and flushed, and now M200 is looking right towards Solheon Prince as well. T1 was able to salvage 2 members. Starlord and Rex still in the game. Doan is still in the game as well. Helen gets knocked out, completely drained by Raining. Solheon picking up more points. 10 kills already for Solheon Prince. So this is their first huge game out of this total tournament. Their day number 1 was not too great, but looks like they're finally popping off. And right now, we're down to the final circle. Doan scoping out to see if there's any remnants of T1 there, but Starlord has been very brilliantly moving away from it. They're both crawling, and looks like nobody has really spotted each other. Solheon Prince now moving behind the backs of T1.
Starlord's got to ditch the backpack if he's going to do this. Rex is down, up and over. Good spray and finish from Juanito. Lin Shun gets Magzora. There is a bunch of damage being traded. Juanito with some good shots onto M200. Might find another one here. Lin Shun has a good cross angle into Solheon Prince. Opts to go for the frag. He sees a couple members right next to each other. Frags are out. A lot of Solheon Prince falling apart. Starlord goes down. T1 out in 4th. Tianba has 3. La Vega has 1. Solheon Prince knocked out of this one. That's going to be Tianba taking game number 3.
Tiamba picking up the win with 8 kills. That's going to grant them 18 points, I believe. And looks like it's going to be Chinese day for tonight. Infantry picking up a huge win on Miramar, and now coming to Erangel. The brilliant positioning of Tiamba has granted them the win they had.
Just so we're clear, in 7 games, only 4 teams have won. And today, it's 3 teams and the same of the 3 that won yesterday. The only one that hasn't won again is Entis. So the teams that are on top are absolutely manhandling the rest of these teams. They are so head and shoulders above everybody else in this lobby right now. It seems like it's a 4-team race.
And right now, Entis seems to be getting dragged behind a little bit, but we still have one more game to go tonight, one more match of Erangel, and we've seen Entis clutch that in last night's matches, and we might see Entis win out once again, and then it's going to be exactly the replica of whatever happened yesterday. Infantry, Tiamba taking on one of each, and T1 has picked up the first match tonight, and then if Entis wins it out tonight, then it's going to be
same 4
yet
teams.
again the same thing.
Could happen. Entis looks good. They had a few weird situations. If they don't hot drop infantry, this could be a completely different day. That really just opened the door for a lot of nuttiness today. This game, infantry just sent it at them. They tried to hold, and infantry did lose 2 in the process, but when you only have 2 as well, it's so tough to defend that, especially with the way infantry is playing right now. They're so good at telling each other exactly where things are. They react so quickly. Tianba, man, they're really good too. They are not allowing infantry to just run away with this as the team from China. T1 was right into this to the end again. Not a lot of kills for T1 because of the way the circles operated. Just nobody really came into their sight line, so they had to snake out whatever points they could via, just placement. And there you go. 18 for Tianba. Solheon Prince, by far their best round of the tournament, with 17 points. That might double their points.
12 kills. I think that's one of their highest kill numbers they put up in this tournament. But in the meantime, La Vega is going to come out with 11. On the right-hand side, we're going to be seeing 4 AM Sun Sister with 1 and 0. But guys, we are going to take a quick break, just about a couple minutes, and then we'll be back with the final match of the day.
Yeah, he did. That was actually so close there. Old Pat.
Pat Caps with the tier 3 helmet.
From freaking Narnia.
No!
Oh my god, he actually gets him.
By the way, these guys in here going.
You mean on pro counter?
Wow.
มั่นใจครับผมเป็น5กิโลโนด้าไปแล้วเข้ามาที่เพชรเด็ดต่อเลยปิดไม่ได้แบบนี้มีแผลแน่นอนเปิดประตูมายังไงครับผมเพชรเด็ดคนเดียวกระสุนไม่ได้รีโหลดเหลือ6นัดเช้าเปิดประตูเย็นปิดประตูโบสแล้วแจ็คลิงได้จากกุลามาด้านนอกเข้าไม่ได้ด้านในก็ไม่ให้เข้าเหมือนกันเพชรเด็ดกันไปก่อนได้จากกุลาได้ไปก่อน
地势并不是很好，119是一个人趴在了树后等待机会啊，等一波伏击啊，他们就觉得先把
83S 这边又爆人，全是把握，小心1打3，再来一个一传4。可惜反弹到他是周围。
是哇，等一下这个防区同样的画面有一点déjà vu，不过这一次的结局完全不一样，茂野一扛多180。
Yeah, I mean, well, they still have a chance, but there's a lot of teams around that can actually see them. But the Molotov teams around that can actually.
ฉีกซ้ายมาเห็นโกลเด้นแคททั้งยวงสเปรย์ใส่ร่วง2โอ้เรียบร้อยฮะ
바로 붙는 게 아니라
카샤. 덤보 선수는 매복 플레이 여기도 혼자거든요.
그건 당할 것 같은데요.
덤보. 이거
알아요.
안 해요. 네. 그 정확한 위치 알아요?
정확한 위치는 살짝 모르는 것 같기도 한데요.
Frogman vai tentando meter bala então no Tiver, o gás taca. O Frogman tá no carro, meu Deus, o que você vai fazer? Frogman!
Hit into the back of TSM, on point, on time. The Dream Breakers, but my word, that is here. 1, 2, thank you.
PUBG Continental Series 2 Asia, day number 2, well underway as we only have one more game to go. One more Erangel coming at you. It's me, Paper Thin, along with me, as always, Bench. We are super excited for today. I am running on fumes now because of how good today's games have been. It has just been an absolute treat to see these teams perform today. We started off with T1 winning a game, furthering their lead at the time, and we thought, oh boy, maybe this is going to be T1. They're playing very consistent. We're almost always seeing them in the top 5, top 6. But then Infantry happened. Then the 24-kill game happened. The most dominant performance, again, I can remember ever seeing in PUBG Esports, where they came through and slaughtered the lobby. Next game up, Tianba stepping up, not allowing their Chinese sister team to do all the heavy lifting. They want to show that they have a shot at this too. Crazy good stuff today. All these teams are so hungry for this.
And now it comes down to the final match of the day. And right now, the teams that have won yesterday is winning out Tiamba, Infantry, and T1. So if Entis is able to win the final match, then it's going to be the exactly same thing. Whatever happened yesterday is going to happen tonight. But right now, just Infantry and Tiamba both look so strong that right now, I don't even think Entis has a good chance to even go for the shoot.
Yeah, we don't even feel like anyone can stop them. They look so strong. T1 looks really, really damn good as well. But it feels like those three teams are kind of head and shoulders above everybody else. Maybe somebody could start stepping up here. I think Entis is fully capable. Entis has been playing well. There's just been a couple weird stuff that happened to them. And of course, we've said it a couple times now, the send at the church, not ideal against Infantry. They just got wiped there at the beginning of game number 2, and then that allowed kind of Infantry to just stomp on the rest of the lobby. As this one should be quite interesting. We've had a lot of Pachinki-ish circles here so far on Erangel. We've only had 3 Erangel games, and they've all ended up kind of around the Pachinki area. Now maybe we get something a little different. Maybe we can channel a little bit of our superpowers. I'm out of coffee. I had some hot 6. But
I had some hot 6
we
as
had some
well.
hot 6. Maybe that'll get the old crazy circle juices flowing. Not sure. As we are getting ready for this ultimate game, the final game of the day, the final game of the week here for Asia. But keep in mind, NA coming up again tomorrow, same time as for them. And then on the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, you got EU and APAC.
APAC. I'm so ready for APAC. It's going to be a battle of bloodbath.
So good.
Think about Buriram. They're so aggressive.
They're my pick, yeah. They're my pick for APAC. I really think Buriram has been playing so well this year. They've made it to all the PCSs. They're so talented individually. I really think Buriram has a shot. And then you got EU, which is there's 10 teams that can win EU. It's so stacked there.
Easy for Ensei, Tornado Energy. Anyone can do it. But we are Asia, and we are about to do the final match of the day. Game number 4. Once again on Erangel. We're about to see the plane path, and we are channeling our power for some nasty circles for the players. A lovely circle for us. We're a little love house.
We like the circles. The players don't, of course. And the plane path's not great. That's a garbage plane path, no doubt about it. You can take that one out back, put it in that dumpster, light it on fire. There are a few teams. Let's see what T1 does. T1 was kind of dropping either military base or Novo. This go around, they are going to hold it in the plane. Now, we've seen them go Gatka in Korea, and they get out of the plane right around there. But there are other teams who go Gatka here. So I think there might be a little congestion potentially. We'll see.
Well, we're about to find out what's really going to happen. And right now, we don't really see any hot drops at the moment, but it could be possibly down towards the bridge side of the 12 houses and the boat houses. Right now, Georgia Pole is going to be the same. Oh, Jiao Yang and Kali is going to be sharing the car. Jiao Yang gets off. Oh, Kali's driving mechanics. Does he have it? Zenus is coming out with a Tommy gun. He's dead stuck. He's done. Jiao Yang's done. And that will be an easy kill picked up by La Vega.
That's a good start for La Vega. Surprise, surprise.
Look at these guys.
This is happening. All right.
Back on another episode.
We're back here as Goku continues charging his spear. But whoa! Spear! What is going on with VRLU Ghibli and these quick scopes? ADS, my goodness.
How? That was on a shoot. He shot on the air with the M4 with the iron sight. That was a clean headshot. And right now, Hikari almost spotted out. That's a double barrel. You probably don't want to be facing heads with that gun. Pignon trying his best to get inside the building. He did indeed get into it, but I don't know how many more angles he can cover. Hikari's already covering the first floor. Pignon, if he opens the door, he's in trouble. Hikari waiting with the AK. Pignon loading it up. That pump is definitely strong close range, but at what cost? Hikari just waiting patiently, knowing that somebody has went into the room there, as the glass does break if you vault over that thing. And Pignon, what's his choice? Is he going to go back out or... No, he opened the door. He's coming back out. Hikari's up on the second floor. So luckily for Pignon, he didn't get spotted off. And now Hikari's in danger because Pignon can easily close the gap there.
Well, Pignon's got 2 shotguns. There's a stun. He heard some sound cues, did Hikari. He got a little concerned that maybe there was somebody... Or excuse me, this is Deva. We're on the other side. For some reason, I thought this was the other building. No, Deva's below here. Now Hikari's in the other side. Okay, there we go. This is the building I was thinking of. Hikari was trying to push down the stairs, but both teams were kind of trying to do the same thing at the same time. Pignon still waiting here. I knew Pignon had 2 shotguns. And then we are getting the res onto Forever. Somehow, some way, they're just able to get to Forever in time. You can see he has barely any health left. And this one will continue to drag on until the circle makes someone do something. Because I don't know what one of these 2 teams has got to give up at some point, maybe if they want to have a chance, but they're just doing too much damage to each other.
I just love the sport from VLG right now. They just don't want to give it up. Like, it's going to cost them a lot of points, and that's going to cost them a lot, but they just don't want to give it up. And, like, it's considered not smart in terms of competitiveness, but in terms of the soul of a player, like as for myself as well as a fan of PUBG, like, this is something that really makes your heart beat.
That's true. It is inspiring. Lou's going to get Hikari now. So 1 knock traded between each of these 2 teams so far. Let's see if VLG is able to recreate the success. No, they are not. Pignon gets in there with his Vector, cleans that one up. And now Ghibli trying to hold the bottom of the stairs. They got to be careful, though. 4 a.m. surrounding this house. Deva doesn't have any bullets in his pistol. Grenade coming through for Forever, who's got a Vector of his own. Tries to jump spray. Gets a pretty good chunk of Deva ripped off there. And now he's looking to make another jump spray. Goes for it. Oh, Spear. Pignon gets him. This is falling apart quickly here for VLG. Lambu's on the outside. Deva gets 1. He's got to reload, though. Doesn't have time to get another. Waste is waiting to see where the reinforcements are. And Lambu was off in Narnia coming in here, finally making his way in to try to assist his team.
The res is definitely possible for Waste to pick up Forever. Now, Lambu spots out the players, but the shots aren't accurate enough, and now 4 a.m. is looking to close this one out. Spear should be spotted out anytime soon. There you go. Easy cleanup for Forever. And now 4 a.m. has picked up 3 kills. Lambu has picked up the holographic. That might just do a little bit more work. He's going to find a good spray down, but he gets spotted out. Finally, after 4 matches yesterday and 3 matches today, it had to come down to the 8th match for 4 a.m. to take their dominance over VLG.
And let's keep in mind that Forever got shot out of the sky on the way down, and they still are able to win that with all 4 up. So good stuff from 4 a.m. Their fans got to be very, very happy over in China. Now, T1 is attempting to make something happen in SMG's rotation. Rex trying to pop those SLR shots down. Nothing really doing. And T1 covers quite a bit of territory with this kind of 2-2-ish split. COC came, they go to the military base, and they're coming out of there this time around. Nobody's actually on the other side, but they're doing the smart thing, making sure that no one is on the other side of the bridge. This bridge, though, not very happy. Well, it's not really a bridge, but this road spot not safe for Sadie's as Tianba dug in on the hillsides.
The Z9 Max should be careful. He's going to spot out Yukel. Good shots put out from Lorena's going to knock Yukel on the floor, and there is nobody around it, and Lorena's quick to finish it off with some help with Z9 Max. And speaking of being scary, like, even if VLG got completely dominated this time around, tomorrow, or not tomorrow, but next week, they're going to come back to it. I just have this gut feeling that they're not going to run away. They will just come back to it.
I don't think they're going to give up. I mean, the thing is, coming into this event, VLG was dominating the fight for that location for the most part. And now 4 a.m. is getting better. They're kind of figuring out VLG's tendencies and other things. So now it seems like the pendulum is swinging 4 a.m.'s way. But yeah, VLG, I would not be surprised if we're just seeing a repeat tomorrow. In the meantime, 4 a.m. is going to go all the way to the apartments to complete their looting. They really desperately need better gear because, yeah, that Micro Uzi alone signals that the gear is not good for them yet. But they should be able to get in and out of the apartments relatively quickly. Lil Ghost found a crate, and he's going to swim on over to it. I think this is actually relatively safe. Although I do see some members of infantry. I take it back. I see some members of infantry. Now, what Lil Ghost can do is go to the other side of that, loot it, swim on back. Oh, they did see the buggy, though. That's problematic now for Lil Ghost. The jig is up. They know that something's going on there. Vehicles don't spawn on that island.
And 9 is on the overwatch from the island. Lil Ghost might be looking to get onto the boat and get going. Bo Liang is just holding onto the crosshair onto the buggy if he decides to go onto the vehicle. There, 9. Oh, I think 9 almost spotted him out, but it looks like the terrain difference and the cover from the trees may have covered him completely. Now 9 sees him. Now 9 sees where Little Ghost is at. He's going to be waiting patiently and relaying the information to the team so the rest of Infantry can look right at where Little Ghost is at. That's going to be an MK. Little Ghost has spotted 9 out as well. He has put out the smoke to go into it. It looks like he's going to go for the boat. Good 54 put into him, but it looks like he's going to be able to get away with it.
Wow. Yeah, it should be okay. Maybe. We'll see. And now Little Ghost smokes in front of him. He's going to buy himself some time to heal up. I don't know how they're going to get him off of here. That's my question right now. Maybe you can throw enough smokes, get in the boat, and try to get off that way. Go around to the east, potentially. Nan can come in, provide a little bit of cover fire. It is the MK14 as well, which is the ideal gun to have in this situation for COC. So we'll see what their potential options are. Not exactly sure how many smokes Little Ghost has either, but maybe Infantry might just back off of this, actually.
And we are about to see the next circle. M200's on the Overwatch to look down towards GEX Ace. Phase 2, where is it going to be? M200 is going to be providing some support, and we do see phase number 2. And this is almost like that replica of the PCS2 ASIA. Remember with that bunch of teams in it?
Oh gosh. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Not a lot of real estate in this one, for sure.
The further southwest this goes, the worse it gets for everybody. It is not a pleasant circle. This one is very, 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 very southwest. So this one could end up somewhere around Primorsk. Likely to end up around the quarry, but you never know. These circles can do crazy, crazy stuff. Zenith in trouble. He has quite a bit of damage done to him. 911 has a little bit done on him. Dolwan, Kali rolling in behind, but they're going to take a slightly safer route, one more inside of the trees. Element 36 in between a rock and a hard place as T1 and Sadie's are hanging out in the vicinity. There might be some other teams coming there as well. Entis going to have to hold down a push. It's a full send here from La Vega. Entis with 4 up. I think I saw some members of La Vega falling here. Now Entis only has 2. Sungjong down under, the only one left here for Entis. He is trying to come outside and see what he could do. It's just Sparrow for La Vega. These 2 Korean teams beating the heck out of each other. Longsker comes over to the side, stealing a kill. Now, Entis did end up winning that. That's 4 points for them. Really problematic that they're going to lose somebody because Longsker, the opportunist player he is, and bullying now coming on top of this. This could be the end of the round for Entis.
Is that nade going to connect? That's going to not go in of it, but looks like the spray down from bullying onto the smoke is going to completely decimate Entis out from this game. So whatever happened yesterday, guys, is not going to be repeated today. And Infantry starting to wreck those kill points, and this is not good for the other teams like T1 or Tiamba.
No, this is really, really not good. Infantry is just too strong right now. They're too smart, too aggressive. Things just go their way. That vehicle almost rolls on top of Dang Che. He's able to dive out of the way. Not good enough, though. Lil Ghost puts him on the ground with the barrel. And Dang Che all alone. The rest of the freaks are going to move on. Dang Che cleaned up. Another point in the bag for Champions of Competition. Star-Lord Helen still over here by E36. Now Soleil Prince leaping forward just a bit themselves, and Star-Lord gets as much information as he feels he can safely in that particular position. Adder had fallen for T1, and now T1 has to rethink their strategy.
Star-Lord is going to try to scout out a little bit. Looks like he doesn't want to overextend, though. Zach's going to be putting Pure Boy down to the ground, and he's looking for more. But the 3x SKS is going to be a little too fall. It's going to fall off a little short. Actually, Star-Lord is going to be creeping behind the backside of E36. He has a molly. If he had a nade, that would have been better. But that molly's not going to be. That actually lands a little far away. So the res onto Pure Boy is definitely possible. And all of a sudden, KJ now finally spotting out Aminal. E36 in the world of trouble. They're going to suffer from another knock once again. Now flushed down by Zach. And KJ spotted out by Satel, but it's only for 27. Now Star-Lord wants to fight this one out too. He's going to knock out, take the kill. Helen actually to steal the kill away from Satel.
It's good timing from T1. They should be getting involved in this because Sadie's and Element 36 are really beating each other up. Let's see if they can get a few more points. They have the potential to sneak some of this out. Pure Boy going to finish off Yuri. Now, Star-Lord wrapping around. There is going to be, finally, the rotation from 4 a.m. coming into the circle. Star-Lord takes a peek to see if it's going to be a problem. Doesn't look like it is right now. Sadie's is eliminating Element 36. They are out for the day, so another not-so-great day for Element 36. as we do have another code coming up soon for you guys. And just so you know, so stick around. There's still more potential for some esports points. Get you guys some more swag. And Starlord leaves, took some damage, and good enough for now, as they're going to be working their way from the northern edge. 4 AM is popping their way in towards Soleil Prince. This could be a problem. Soleil Prince, very good at defense. Kim Goni gets forever. There is a lot of damage being done. 2 members down for 4 AM. The push is no good. It has been thwarted, I feel.
And 4 AM with just a single member up. That's going to be no, that's 2 members up for them. Pignom now trying to run away from it. Let's see if 4 AM can find any good real estate, though, as most of these real estates are covered. All the lands and good compounds are taken. It looks like they're going to be climbing up the hills of Quarry. They might just set themselves outside of these warehouses. Maybe they could even go deep inside of it. I'm not exactly sure what their decision is going to be, but that vehicle is going to be going for the monster ride. And now they're caught off by still moving into gunfire. Lenren putting a couple more bullets into them. And 4 AM, they're going to have to hide inside any house they can find. And it looks like there's no entrance, no exit for them.
I mean, they got somewhere at least. It was better than nothing. And with the new circle, it's kind of dead center-ish. It's not, I mean, look, you got to hope that the circle stays there for a long time, because being inside of the quarry is typically a death trap. It is extremely difficult to get out of there once you're stuck on the inside. Very similar, there's that code, very similar to the La Bendita crater, where it's quite difficult to get out once you're in. And there are a couple teams out on the edge, a couple very strong Chinese teams in TSG and SMG. And we'll see how long 4 AM has to survive in there. Plenty of time right now, as it still is, like I mentioned, the very center of the circle, at least.
At least the circle will be favored. They get to stay in it for a while, but, you know, the final circle is always not in the center, not almost always in the center, so they will probably have to move out of it. We're about to see some carrot package drop down, or it could go right into Quarry. I think that's TSG's, if I'm not wrong, or if it's a little further enough, then 4 AM has a chance to take the carrot package for themselves. 27 seconds away until we see the next circle, and right now, wherever it goes in this current circle, it's gonna be quite nasty. Quarry, bad. Mountain, bad. Outside of Primorsk, even worse. There's not a lot of terrain to work with. Oh, I'm not kidding. I know. This is nasty.
The forest is like the best spot. If it can go there, that, like, those teams, there's a lot to work with in there. That's to the south of the quarry there. And okay, that's not bad.
It's workable.
That's not the worst it could have done. It could have gone like straight west, and that would have been really, really troublesome. But this one centered up. I mean, when the teams have to leave the quarry, so you can see TSG rotating right now. Why? They want to be the ones closest to the center of the circle on the edge of the quarry possible, so they have the best position to A, gatekeep, and then B, move if they so have to. So it's a really smart, aggressive rotation by TSG, and now T1 has to make a late rotation because they got stuck on the north side. Things moved away from them, and they have to go way, way around to make sure it is indeed safe for them to get there.
Uh-oh, Sun Sister now has hurt the vehicles. Candesu's going to pull up right at the edge of the circle. T1 has ate a bunch of blue, and can Candesu hold it off? They're going to have to stop at the edge of the circle and heal up, but there's only 13 seconds away from the blue starting to move, and Candesu can easily spray these players down. Let's see what he's got in his pocket. T1 now on the move. Candesu hurt the cars. He's going to go for the spray down. Can he find one? 22 damage, 24 damage on the Starlord. That will be damage split, so there won't be any knocks. Rex now has to start moving. He's actually going to spot out Candesu. Nice shots from Candesu. Will knock out Rex, and he'll be finished by the blue, and Candesu can start moving as well. He has a vehicle, so he can easily get into the next circle as well.
Yeah, nice out duel there by Candesu. It's really nice to see a Japanese player step up and win that 1v1 like that. He should feel good, as he is going to earn himself a point. And now it's up to Starlord and Helen to see what they can salvage out of this. Unfortunately, not much in this circle is available. Gex Ace already has that compound. They're just going to roll on right by it. Might have to set up at the side of the cliffs. Might not be much else available in this one. We'll see exactly where T1 ends up. And in the meantime, Faye was using that opportunity to get a knock. Oh my gosh, T1's so hurt. This could be the end. They are, okay, that's one. That's Helen. Helen doesn't get flushed, though. Is it going to be Volibear going for this grenade? Underhands it. That looks pretty good. No, it hits the lip and bounces early. It still does some damage to Starlord, but that lip just saved Starlord's bacon.
Does Star-Lord have enough of a cover up top from Volibear? Looks like it is there for Star-Lord to save T1 from going out. But they have nowhere else to go now. That vehicle's done. That's going to explode anytime soon. The Volibear is looking for hunting him down. GX Ace now trying to fight down Sun Sister. Zen swings out a little too wide, and he's going to get caught off. Good shots from the player. Savior knocks out his own player as well, actually. So that's going to be a mishap for GX Ace. Sun Sisters, luckily, is going to be able to hold on to this for now. Another standoff happening in this compound.
It's a big fight for these two teams towards the bottom of the standings, but Soleil One Prince has been hearing this fight go on, and they want to see if they can surround it and pick up the remnants of this fight. Sun Sister doing a great job right now, but then all of a sudden traded 2 for 2 is Sun Sister. Polly is flushed. And now Sun Sister in a world of trouble. Crazy Sam trying to hold it together. That grenade not going to make it in there for Lockslock. Watching the side angle to see if anybody comes through. Crazy Sam has to retreat and go into the basement to get Faye back up and running.
Tiamba in the meantime has wiped out T1. Sohail and Prince is looking to take these kill points in their backpack, scrape it off of GEX Ace and Sun Sister. They're going to be farming kills onto this one as they have the higher ground. The circle's about to move away from them as well, so it's just worse for these two teams down there. And right now, Sohail and Prince just holding it down. They're not looking to aggress onto this one. They're just holding it down. And oh my god, this is going to be a quarry circle.
That's gross. This is gross. This is going to be so difficult. There's so much weird stuff that's going to happen inside of this circle because of that sheer cliff face that's around the outside of the quarry. You're basically taking a 50-50 chance. It's either going to leave the quarry or not. Faye finding a good grenade. Zenon knocked. And now Tianba trying to hold off against TSG up on the hill. Mad 98 helping out, though, getting the knock from the side. Crazy Sam does finish off Zenon with a nice grenade of his own. And now Tianba outside of the circle a bit, but not by a whole lot, so they could start pushing up. But again, the real problem becomes if this circle shifts north and you're stuck outside of it, there aren't a lot of good ways up. If this circle shifts south, then it's really tough because it's really exposed along that road trying to cross it. It's doable. It's better if you're up on the edge of quarry, I'd say. But either way, it's no bueno.
So Sun Sister was able to clear out the aggression from GX Ace, and now they have to start moving to the circle. And then in the meantime, from Champions Competition is going to find the knock onto EJ. Clean kill. Afrika getting shattered apart. And they're still 4 up, so this might as well be a Champions of Competitions game. And look at this aggression from Lockslock. He's going to find a knock onto Crazy Sam. Faye's going to finish him off, so that's going to be GX Ace out from the game. Is the rest possible to Crazy Sam? Yes, but there's Sohail and Prince. Now Sun Sister has to go through a strong team of Sohail and Prince. 4 up, 6 kills. Look at that scoreboard.
Absolutely. Oh no, Afrika. C9 though didn't get the knock, and that's going to open the door for Shadow to come through, get some good damage, should be able to get the finish. Indeed, Shadow and Hansia, the 2 veteran players for Afrika Freaks, rolling up to the western side of everything. The Freaks at the bottom of the scoreboard right now, desperately looking for points anywhere they can get it. Infantry's long skirt down and out from Non. Champions of Competition continue to roll along. This time they're doing their work against Infantry again, and we saw them kind of wreck Infantry earlier on today on Miramar. This time it's going to be Tianba heading up to the edge of the quarry, hedging their bets on where this particular circle ends up.
Now, at least for Tianba, they know there's nobody behind them, so they're going to be able to use that little piece of land behind under quarry to place themselves. Sun Sisters now trying to get out from the situation. Crazy Sam's going to pop that. Looks like energy drink possibly, and now Faye has to go up front. Kimgoni's waiting right at the window. This might be dangerous. They're going to pop the flash. Kimgoni's not blind. Oh no, he is completely blinded, knocks out, but Juanita's quick to react. Crazy Sam knocked out. Oh, Juanita gets knocked out. Faye with some good shots will land the headshots right on top of Juanita. And Sohail and Prince, all of a sudden, it's only going to be raining up. 1 versus 1, but the nade's going to be landing right on top, and Sohail and Prince deals with Sun Sister.
Raining gets his own teammate finished with that as well, but Sun Sister with a solid round for themselves, really playing strongly against a couple different players and strong teams. You gotta like what you're seeing out of them in that situation, and they really almost wrecked the day for Soleil One Prince, but Raining's grenade living up to his name, coming through, and he's gonna get the res as well. Still half-half. This circle is gross. This is absolutely gross. wherever this goes, it's going to be difficult. I actually really like Afrika's position. If they can hold off Soleil One Prince here, they can kind of work their way up the side, and they actually are in a position where they can kind of choose if they can get over here. Well, Soleil One Prince might be able to kind of take that better position right now. It looks like Afrika's stuck on the side. But whichever of those teams comes from that side, they kind of have the option to go either direction depending on where the circle shifts. And now Raining doing a nice job catching Hansia out. Shadow returning the favor, though. Raining's going to be down. There is a wall in front of Hansia to block himself, and Juanita just hoping that somebody's out there that he can maybe pick something up. And SMG on the move here. 4AM hasn't had to move bench.
And still moving on to gunfire. There's Pignon from 4AM still chilling inside of it, and he's got an MK14. That thing could wreak havoc, and so is his barrel. He's got the 3x. He's going to go for the spray down. He's going to find one, but he himself is going to be taken down to 31. Lou from the other side is going to support, but that SKS is going to be quite accurate. Third player down for SMG anytime soon. Yes, 27. Yes, indeed. And fourth one as well. Can 4AM destroy SMG?
No, he just isn't able to get the last one on the Baule. Pignon coming on the outside, going to pick up some more points. Just pre-firing around the corner in case someone from SMG comes around. He's going to pop a grenade out there. It is almost the end of the round. There it is. Baule down. 4AM hold strong over here. Infantry somehow, some way, still alive despite facing a 4-man from COC. COC with the side drive by. Goodbye, infantry. Nice move here by COC.
XS should be rezzed here, unless he's outside of the zone. Lulu always going for the medkit, but some nice drive-bys from COC. Now 5 teams remaining in this lobby. Tiemba still 3 strong, COC 3 strong, TSG 4 strong. But 4AM has a pretty good shot at this as well. They're looking really nice. They got that aggression in their blood as well.
Yeah, Lou with some really, really nice shooting. They don't really have to move much, a little bit, and I think they could probably find some cover down there potentially. It's gonna be tricky. They're probably gonna take a little bit of damage in progress, but we'll see. Tianba's trying to knock TSG off the top of this mountain to open the door for themselves. Inadvertently, they're going to open the door for COC behind them potentially as well. Circle does shift north, and that's real bad for the teams that are on the south side of this. There is not really a lot of good ways to get up anymore. You can see TSG in a fantastic spot. That early rotation they took a few circles ago really paying off.
TSG is going to be capitalizing on top of everything for their location, their real estate being the most expensive one on a higher elevation as well. But they should really watch out for any snakes coming behind them. That's why Pangam is scouting out, because they have a sense that Afrika's somewhere around there from all the shots being fired there. At the same time, 4AM inside of Corey could easily come up from behind if nobody's watching and assassinate any of the TSG players not looking at their direction. So 4 seconds away until from the blue starts moving, and TSG just watching at the edges to clear out any players.
All right, here is COC and Tianba. They have to fight. There's no choice. Lin Shun going to get Lil Ghost finished off quickly by M200. And there's some throwables coming inside of that shack. That's going to set somebody on fire. Lou Rena is going to be the one. He is going to go down. XS surviving with 2 hit points. Nice work by him. Some good points coming through for COC. This battle between Peng and the surviving members of Afrika still raging on. M200 is going to finish the job onto COC. They're down in 5th. And then Afrika still alive, still kicking. Going to try to get out and through here. Peng, it catches just enough of Shadow, but he only underhands it, so he isn't able to get it probably as far as he would have liked. A return grenade hitting Peng. That's going to put him down below half health. Hansia, Shadow now going to work their way up this road. And like I mentioned, Afrika's in a really, really good spot because they have a lot of options on how they rotate in this circle.
At the same time, 4AM was able to find a nice little path of way to get into the next circle as well. They're going to be on the same elevation too, so they have a pretty good shot too. Pignon trying to spot out any players. TSG is not aware. This could be detrimental to them.
Yeah, it really, really could be. They have to have some idea that something's coming up, but they've been so busy with Afrika coming up this road, and now finally they're just going to be like, nope, we can't let Afrika get up this road. This is really smart. Cut this off. End the day for the Freaks. Really, really smart play here by TSG. Not allowing Afrika to get any kind of position. They had a chance to maybe get up that hill, but with the smart play by TSG, they're going to prevent that. And now 4AM finally lighting it up. They get some damage into 911. He pulls off. Tianba, not really interested in doing much right now. They're going to stay below this hill. There's no real good way for them to get up, to be completely frank. The circle is going to end up on the top right in the middle of TSG. So TSG, given the win condition here, can they finish it off?
Well, for 4 a.m., they have a win condition too, but they should leave Tianba alone. So TSG is bugged out by it, annoyed by it, so they don't look all towards 4 a.m.'s way. But it looks like Pignon is willing to see if Tianba's down there for sure. And just about 5 seconds away until we see the final circle. Volibear just waiting at the edge of the warehouse to see if Pignon peeks out. And I don't know what exactly Pignon is thinking, but he's just walking around to scout for any information out there.
Yeah, he's just seeing everything that he can find. He just wants to know what the heck is going on as best as he can. Try to get something to go. As Tianba, there's nothing they can do. There's going to be some explosions coming in here. You might be able to get a vehicle to blow up and land on top of Linshin here. Yeah. Come on, somebody, another grenade in here, and maybe you can get it going. Lou is going to be reloading that Mark 14. He's going to hold the back line for you. And this should be a pretty fun little finish. I don't know if Tianba has much of a role to play in this in terms of they have to have throwables to do something. Really, I don't know what they have. Damage being done to 4 a.m. They're going to back off. Lou rotating around the side. Maybe 4 a.m. might be able to kind of get on the side of Tianba and pick up a few points potentially. We'll see. Lou has to heal, of course. Pignon still looking down there. He knows there's something going on. His spider sense is tingling, but TSG holding fast.
And now the final circle is going to start to move. Lou's going to spot out player there. Linshin taking a couple damages there, but not too much. And right now, things look very good in the way of Triumphant Song Gaming. Let's take a look at what 911 wants to do. He has a sense tingling towards M200, so he's going to be continuously watching that one. Linshin popping out the smoke to clear the way in towards the face of 4 a.m., but 4 a.m. themselves are content to get into the mid-circle as well. TSG has a really nice spread in the current circle, and they can lock down every single player coming up the hill right now.
They should be able to. They're flanking around to the backside of 4 a.m. Those are the ones they're more worried about. They know it's really difficult for Tianba to get up here. There is Lin Shun, and as you can see, Pignon doing a good job coming up and over the side, getting the knock onto Lin Shun, gonna come around, finish the job. Now M200 looking to cook a grenade up. Did he time it well? Yes, he did. He got some damage. That's not bad from that position. That ain't easy, folks. He might be coming up the hill on the side. Pignon might not be aware of this. We'll see. Lou took a stun. You can see the animation, and that's going to give M200 a kill. Here he comes, and finally, Pignon holds it off. The TSG should not wait. There's only one person left, and it's going to be TSG's game to finish the day. A 7-kill chicken dinner, the 3rd win in a row for China.
Had M200 not kill out Lou, then 4 a.m. may have had a chance, but TSG looked too damn strong in that circle. They had a really good control of the current circle, and they had a nice spread out setup. So anyone climbing up the hill was going to be caught off guard.
Yeah, and again, that early rotation they made, very smart. Most players are going to be like, of course you make that decision, but they make the right decisions, and they profit from it. And had that circle done something else and not just stayed right on top of that particular ledge, they still had a good chance. There's still a lot of different options they had available. Good plays by Afrika to sneak some points out. I really liked what they were doing on the side there. Tianba is Tianba. They're just somehow, some way, always in it at the end. And 4 a.m., their best game by far now that they finally beat VLG, excuse me. And that's going to be a big confidence boost for them, but they can't keep fighting teams early, neither them or VLG can.
I think this is like the first time that T1 failed to land themselves in top 5 or top 4, so to speak. So let's see if T1 can continue to win out as they did fail on the final match today. Next week, we're going to be back next week with more games. Yep. It's the same dates for the second week. And on week number 3, it's going to be Tuesday and Wednesday. So things are pulled a little earlier.
A little bit different.
A
little bit different, but I think that's nice. Gives everybody, if maybe you're busy on a particular night, you get another night to come and watch these excellent games. Some stellar play we saw here today. Of course, the infantry game will be one that is long talked about in PUBG Esports history. That one's right up there with some of the other great games that we've seen. And the final round, here is your match leaderboard. Of course, TSG comes away with the win, but not too far behind was 4AM with 15 points of their own.
This is because 4AM was able to win against VLG. They had 4 kill points to start with, and they picked up 5 more kills, sitting at 9 kills, 15 points. I would say a big game for 4AM, and I think they should be able to continue on with this kind of games starting next week as well. But I don't think VLG wants to back away from this one.
No, they're not. I just don't think they will, and that's a big donut for them on the right-hand side of things. Yeah, definitely the worst game for T1 by far this tournament with only 1 point for Entis, 5 for Infantry. So for Tianba, they're going to gain a little ground on the teams in front of them, maybe even catch T1. I can't remember the exact score coming into this. We'll see the final leaderboards here in a bit. Champions of competition, Solely One Prince with 9 points. Solely One Prince with a very good Erangel today, and that moves them up to 8th. They came into today almost dead last.
Oh, yeah.
In the score. So Solely One Prince had a very, very nice day. Entis in 6th, SMG 7th. So a lot of China on the left-hand side of the leaderboard. The only team not on that western side is 4AM. And Infantry is going to be your top team of the day with 93. Tianba at 83. T1 at 80. Those are your top 3. Guys, stay tuned. There's more PCS2 coming your way. You've got EU, you've got APAC, and then next week we're back with Asia and NA again. NA is coming up again, by the way, very, very soon. So I think that's going to do it for us. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. Enjoy these highlights, and we'll see you guys next time.